All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy New Year in 2026. Welcome back to the Unpopular Black Gamer. I'm your boy Dante, as always, accompanying me every time, just about pretty much. I don't think you ever not accompany me on this, but this is my boy Patrick. Say hello, sir.
Happy Sunday, wait,
No, 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 it's not Sunday.
wait,
Not
I'm
Sunday.
lost.
It's not Sunday.
Behind the scenes, folks, I am heading out in Nashville soon. This is one of my last opportunities to record in Nashville before whenever I get back.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, couldn't miss it. So that's why we're here on Saturday. We also, after last week's episode, was like,
We can't end it with that.
can't end it with
The
that.
fact that we ended 2025 with that is pretty telling.
Kind of sucks. We weren't planning to end on that episode, but now we're bouncing back with this episode.
I,
This
I don't know
episode
how to
bounced back
feel.
a little bit.
I don't know how to feel about starting 2026 with this episode, though. But
Well, it just means 2026 is going to be very arousing.
is that the word that we're
We got to work
we're
our
going
way
to
into
use?
it. I, I don't know what we're going to do.
So as always, of course, we're doing recaps on Star Trek, and we are in the original series doing a rewatch, where we have not rewatched Star Trek the original series since we were kids.
Right.
So we are rewatching it now as adults. There are some episodes we remember, some episodes we do not. The previous episode, unfortunately, we did remember, uh,
But
but not to the degree of craziness that that episode uh,
which
depicted.
benefited this podcast because we have remembered everything about that episode. We might have skipped it.
It's funny. It's funny how I feel like we should like look at a study of like how kids' brains work versus like how adults' brains work, because it's like we did not remember a lot of the essay stuff that was in that episode.
Hmm.
Um, like it's almost like we blacked it out. Like me, I remembered that entire episode, but a lot of the essay stuff I did not
Uh,
remember, which is crazy to me. But today we are on episode seven. Episode seven. Episode six. Um, as far as normal broadcasting on Paramount Plus, this is episode seven. Mud's Women, and to say uh, this is an interesting episode
hmm.
for a number of reasons. We got, of course, we have a lot of running gags that we normally point out. One of those um being how what was the word you used earlier to for the H word? Uh,
Enchanting, entrancing,
I guess entrancing
yeah,
type,
enticing.
enticing. We got some. It's hard for me to like talk for some reason because of this particular episode. I'm
I'll
trying to watch my words
I'll
as
step
much as
I'll step in
possible.
and take a pass at it. For anyone who's going to listen to this, you should know that we're going to be commenting on women's appearances. The episode is going to be commenting on women's appearances
Yes,
and how men react to them,
yes,
what arousal is like. There's some other elements to it. So, there's three women in this episode specifically that we have to talk about their appearance. And the episode uses even tough,
worse language.
yeah, tougher language than we will. So I think right off the rip, we're going to say, look, there's going to be maybe some habitual line stepping here, but we don't mean anything by it, and everyone's entitled to like what they want to like, be attracted
Yes,
to what they want to be
yes,
attracted to,
yes.
um, and at no point should it cross into the disrespectful. In fact, I asked the unpopular black gamer's wife, like, what's something I should be sure not to talk about,
Yes.
and she mentioned like, don't mention their weight, don't mention a couple of other things. So we'll do our best here, but we're very much hammed in to talk about women's appearances and how it relates to how men view them. This episode is very male gaze
Yes,
focused, so
and
we'll do our best with it.
we're trying we're going to try to explain this in a way to where it doesn't come off as like being creep, like we're creeps or anything like that. Which I mean, we are not. I definitely fully respect women. Um, I don't think I would be married if I if I didn't. If I'm being honest with how my
At least not married to her.
no, yeah, definitely not married to her. Uh, so we're gonna we're gonna be as respectful as possible when we talk about those parts. Um, and uh, like I said, this is gonna be a little bit difficult for me because I truly don't want to say the wrong thing. Um,
Yeah, me
and
neither.
and it can come off like the wrong thing can come off like pretty easily. So
Yeah,
like please give me grace, give us both grace with this episode. We're gonna try to break this down as best as we can.
it's definitely one of those where if this thing were monetized, well, like it probably will be in the future. We had a team. We probably would just like let
Yeah,
bring at least a
yeah,
female employee or
yeah.
some female members of the team to talk because it needs that kind of holistic view. But
This would definitely be one of those episodes that I really would wish that we had a female Trekkie to be
yeah,
able to like talk with and like bounce things off of because
because y'all are gonna definitely see stuff in this episode that we're gonna miss and not talk about,
yeah,
and we're definitely gonna say stuff from the heterosexual male perspective
yes.
that is gonna come off maybe the wrong way. But we're giving the best trigger warning, and just know it's not from a malicious perspective that we're trying to bring it from.
I'm sure we pointed this out before, but both me and Patrick are cisgendered males, heterosexual. So like we love women, like
Yeah.
love women. So some people will probably say that that's like my downfall for how much I love women. It definitely was before I got married.
Well, you'll be able to relate to some of the people in this episode.
Oh, not to that degree now. I just chased after a lot of women, okay, before I finally like settled down.
There we go.
But I guess we should go ahead and get into it. So this is episode 7, Mud's Women. This is going to be the
Well, I have a few other topics we can like
okay.
just
Go ahead.
rapid react to. Star Trek is turning 60 this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I
Oh,
guess I think
wow.
Star Trek Day is like in September. So we're
Oh,
like,
we're gonna have to like come up with something special for that.
yeah, exactly. I know that because George Takai, Sulu
Oh
was,
my.
yeah, was in the Rose Parade because Paramount Plus used their float to
Mm,
honor the fact
mm,
that Star Trek was turning 60 this year.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
that's cool. On that same note, Sulu and Bones have been announced for Strange New World season 5. So we're gonna get them. I did not look up who the actors were. I'm sure they're great.
I looked. I think I saw one. I forgot his name. The one that's going to be playing McCoy. I thought it was a really good casting.
Yeah,
The other one that's going to be playing
Sulu.
Sulu. I don't think I know him that well, so I couldn't say if that is or not. But like for the most part, Strange New Worlds has. I feel like they haven't missed when it came to their casting. I can't
Yeah.
think of anyone that I'm just like, oh, that was a strange casting.
Also, these two probably appear so late in that season that I would
True,
imagine there's not much for them to mess up. If I had to
true,
take a guess,
true.
unless they're trying to do the spin-off series that we'd love to see also, which is a TOS update kind of new
The
ventures thing.
before
Yeah,
TOS
yeah,
times after Strange New Worlds to TOS.
yeah.
That's we're hoping that they
It'd be cool.
green like that.
They got everybody in place for it. Starfleet Academy premieres this month.
Oh yeah,
So,
I gotta finish Discovery.
yep,
Okay,
yep. And I
remind
guess
me on that.
I guess we'll figure out what we'll do with that show when it gets there. When we
Yeah,
get there.
so we'll when Starfleet Academy comes out, we'll probably pivot and put this the rewatch on hold
Oh,
until uh,
adding months to the already years that we're committed
I
to.
mean we're in the golden age. Well, I wouldn't say the golden age. Golden age would have been like when. TNG and stuff happened.
TNG, DS9, and
Yeah,
Voyager.
we're
Yeah,
we're in the next golden age, I should
yeah. We
say,
got a lot of
of
Trek.
Star Trek. So we're getting, and I don't believe that this would be the only one that they're going to greenlight. We're still waiting on them to greenlight Star Trek. People are calling it, wanting to call it Legacy, which
Yeah.
which I think would be interesting. More I thought about that, I felt like it's like I feel like in if you're doing a Star Trek Legacy show, then you should have at least one character from each Star Trek that came out
Hmm.
within that timeline, of course.
Okay.
So like you already got seven for Voyager, so that's already
Yeah,
done.
covered. She's the
Yeah,
captain.
you got people from Star Trek Picard
Yep.
on there. I feel like they should find a character from Star Trek D Space Nine
Oh,
to
to
put in
put
there,
on. That'd be cool.
like Kira, like the actress. She's still alive. I don't know if she's still like acting or anything, or if they were like if she would like to do
Oh
anything.
yeah,
But
and
like,
also Alexander Siddig, Cole Meany.
yeah, yeah,
Those are
Alexander
yeah.
Siddig was the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like if you had Alexander Siddig on there as like head of medical, that would be really cool.
Yeah,
Because the Doctor is going to be in Starfleet
and
Academy.
that's way in the future.
Yeah, and then also like Tuvok could also be there as the admiral that's giving Seven of Nine her
Oh, giving a
orders.
promotion from Star Trek Picard. That'd be
Exactly,
cool.
exactly. Um, what was the other ones that I thought of? Like, so for TNG, you can do Worf in there, like have him have like special cameos.
Yeah,
He goes
because
back
they've
to
all
his
just been back.
ambassador.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just been back. You can have like the ambassador thing on that. You can also have Jordan LaForge in there
Mm-hmm.
because his daughters are going to be on the ship
Right.
too. So it I felt like that would be like one of those like great it would be fan servicey. It
Very much
would.
so.
It would. But also at the same time, like look we're looking at the future. This is the legacy of Star Trek. These are the people that like because no one thought that Seven of Nine would ever be a captain,
Right.
and like but she is. So that was my thought when I like started like thinking about this and breaking it down. I was like, oh yeah, that would actually be
Be a cool
really
show.
really cool.
I also am still sold on the Star Trek United concept out there
Hmm.
about Jonathan Archer's presidency. I think that would be cool. I just don't know if they're going to get it organized quickly enough because um, Scott Bakula is like 71 already, and I'm like, if you get approved now, you're probably still like a year or two away from the premiere. So I don't know, but it'd be a cool
Hmm.
time period to see come together at the beginning of the
But if
Federation.
they could only green light one, which one would you want more?
Honestly, I could live with either.
Yeah,
I'm that kind of Star Trek fan where as long as it's just good, I'm gonna watch it.
I feel that, but I'm more on the fact like I want to see an era that hasn't already been talked about or hasn't been like
Well,
shown.
you're about to get that.
And like that's
Yeah.
why I'm like really excited about the Starfleet Academy
Okay. Yeah.
series. Uh, but I feel like Star Trek Legacy like precludes like all the Star Treks that we grew up loving
Yeah.
and knowing, and then like I feel like it would redeem Star Trek Picard. Because like we got here because of Star Trek Picard season three.
That's fair.
Uh, so if we didn't have the first two episodes, we wouldn't have the third in this
Yeah.
series too. So I don't know. I'm hoping this is a hope. Jonathan Franks, hey my boy, hey, can you entice them a little bit? You know, hey.
We'll see. We'll see. Last bit I got here. I just saw this on Twitter and looked it up. On this date,
Mm-hmm.
the day we're recording now, uh, DS9 premiered in 1993.
Oh
It's cool, isn't
wow.
it?
Oh wow. That's
Yep.
1993.
32
Man,
years ago.
I was young.
Wait, 33 years ago. I need to do my math right.
Man, what was I like 9 years old?
Yeah, we were 7, 8. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry, we were 6, 7.
No, God, don't do that.
Yeah, that
I'm
math is wrong,
I'm
anyways.
I'm cutting that from the when I finally get to editing this.
You don't
I'm
want
cutting that.
a Gen Z, Gen Alpha
No, no,
audience on here.
no,
Well, not for this episode.
not
This
for this
episode
episode.
is way
Oh no,
too,
no.
way too. I forgot what the episode was about. Yeah, cut that. I don't want you thinking and what's about to happen next.
Anything else you got for
No,
me?
that's it.
All right, all right. Well, all that's cool. So let's get into the episode. So we're into episode 7, Mud's Women.
Yep. So the Enterprise is in pursuit of an unidentified vessel, and the ship that they're chasing, they're pushing their engines too hard. And I don't know why they cut to Uhura, but they cut to Uhura, I guess, to say that they're not communicating. And for whatever reason, she's wearing
Uhura's in a gold uniform.
she's in a gold uniform.
I was thrown off when I saw that. Like
No,
both you and I were like, "Whoa!"
no context, no explanation.
None,
Uh,
none
and
whatsoever.
and admittingly, I'm the type of fan that doesn't need one, but it almost is like she in real life she like spilled coffee on herself or something
And
on
this
her
is the
red dress.
only
And yeah, they're
uniform that
just
was
like,
available.
okay, put this one on and we'll film and we'll get that other one clean for because she's already been in her red uniform
She has
like twice
earlier.
already.
I do want to point out though, like going back to what we started in the previous episode, where I'm like paying attention to the star dates and
Yeah,
everything, trying to see like do these things line up. He started off saying like at the beginning of this episode that it was star date 1329.8.
yep,
I would be remiss to point out that in the last episode, it started off what star date 1672.1.
yep. So it's already effed.
So like, wait, hold up, how how is this calculated again? Because that would suggest that it was like I guess almost a year after
No,
the previous episode was a year after, not,
yeah,
and this was like a year
and it's funny
prior
because the
to.
previous episode has a log entry in it that makes us go, did he record this log after the
After
episode
after
happened?
the fact, yeah.
So like there's even like more future to it if indeed this is in the past. So we're off to a great start with the star dates.
This is not going to be the first time that I point the star dates out. There's another
Okay.
inconsistency later on in the episode that I'm going to point out, but I at least wanted to like at least timestamp star date 1329.8. Okay.
Okay. So they're chasing a small Class J cargo ship.
Oh, and they called it a Earth. They called it an Earth ship.
They did call it an
They
Earth
didn't. They
ship.
didn't call. They still haven't. They still haven't said Federation. Still haven't said Starfleet.
Yeah. Which, the Federation is so important to have because if you're doing military actions for no rhyme or reason that are outside of the
Mm-hmm.
morals and values
Mm-hmm.
and legal structures of a system, then you're just acting arbitrary and capricious about those things and possibly putting your country and way of life at risk to ways that you shouldn't. Not that any of that is relevant,
What? Oh.
but
There's no relevancy to that. Like that
yeah,
we
I'm
can
just
point
not.
at like actual something that happened
Yeah,
in real life on this day.
yeah, exactly.
There's nothing we can point that out to.
No, no, no. I'm just noting that if
No.
there's not a value system and a moral system behind what you're doing, then it's
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
you're
Rules
just
that you have to
rules
follow.
that you have to
Uh
follow.
huh.
Then you're just like
Mm-hmm.
committing military acts
Especially if you're
for
part of a governing body
yeah.
called the United Nations.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to get a little political and start. I'm just talking about
I'm no.
theoretically,
I mean, I'm tying Star Trek back into like real world.
so that people can.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it,
It's
but yeah, yeah.
I'm relating here. Yeah.
So that's why we're looking for the Federation in these episodes. Otherwise, they're just blasting things and bombing things and
Doing whatever the hell they want.
yeah, taking people into custody
Yeah.
just willy nilly without a governing structure around it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. And that will come up more within this episode too, of like uh, the fact that we haven't established Starfleet, the fact that we haven't established the Federation. Like, okay, so what's the authority here? Like, there has to be the authority
yeah,
to give out rules to state like, oh yeah, I'm going to put this person under arrest, or Oh, you can't do that here.
What system of laws are you adhering to?
Exactly.
Yeah, so don't take arbitrary foreign aggressive acts is what we're kind of saying.
Too political.
Hmm.
Too political.
Well, but there's nothing. I'm not really
Oh, okay.
talking
I'm
about
sorry. I'm
anything.
sorry. My bad. My
Just
bad. Yeah.
theoretically, theoretically,
No, my bad. My bad.
hypothetically.
No, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Um. So the cargo ship ends up in an asteroid field, and they've pushed their engines too far. Then Kirk decides to extend the Enterprise shield so that they don't get hit by an asteroid, even though that act just extends his engines too far.
Yeah, apparently, the act of doing that, Scotty pointed out that it would put them in a precarious situation where it could burn out their engines.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, not fun stuff. Um, Scotty and Spock leave the bridge to go beam whoever's on the ship out.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, the engines are overloading and the power is fluctuating. At this moment, I've noticed that we have a rotating navigator.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing that I found funny in this whole thing was that when they were going through this, when they finally like extended their
Mm-hmm.
was it extending their
Shields.
shields
Yeah.
to protect them, like the I was like, hold on, wait, if this is going to burn out the engines, wouldn't this be like a red alert situation or whatnot? Like, so
Not why. I mean,
we're not calling like all hands to battle
well, I
stations.
mean, you could go alert condition Baker 1 if you want to.
At least a yellow
Maybe.
alert,
And
like.
maybe this is like a GQ one.
I would even I would have accepted that actually.
Yeah, that's interesting. We haven't heard red alert because they
We
keep
haven't.
going to different alert statuses when they
Yes,
need to. But yeah, the whole ship's about to blow up, but no need to let anybody know.
it doesn't matter.
If you're in 10 forward, stay in 10 forward.
No, they don't have 10-4. Remember, it's entertainment rooms.
If you're in the
Yeah.
entertainment room, stay in the entertainment
Oh,
room.
which one? Which one? I mean, number four might be too close to the
Maybe
engineering.
for this episode, number 69?
Number 69. Oh, yeah. Entertainment room number 69 is a good one. That
Nice.
nice.
So Sky's trying to beam them out, but it's difficult because they won't communicate back. I don't know what that's all about. Scotty succeeds in beaming over who we know is Harcourt Fenton Mudd.
Oh, okay. So before we fully touch on that, I forgot
Okay,
in my notes that I need to point out something.
what's that?
When they extended their shields to and they were overextending their engines, they pointed out that the lithium crystal circuits are failing.
And this is a key point in the episode that I don't actually keep track of. I think you have the notes on it, but
It's weird to me. It's weird to me because like the current Star Trek vernacular, like crystal circuits,
mm-hmm.
which suggests like these are circuits that go throughout the ship, and one of those is failing. That doesn't make sense.
And they're holding one later, and it looks like a piece of crystal.
Well, that so they take the circuits part out of it later, and they just say lithium crystals, and I'm just like, okay, hold on, wait. So lithium isn't lithium an element that's used in batteries right now?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we're still using that in the future, or did they mean dilithium?
Well, that's why I joked with you that like they're gonna like pull the Enterprise up to a planet and put like a giant
Oh,
USB C in
USB
it,
charging
charge it up.
port. We're all charged up.
Yeah,
Jettison the USB C.
hi, Captain.
So like that, this is something that's going to be said throughout the episode. Like they're going to
It's one
continue
of
to keep talking about lithium crystals.
it's like basically the ticking clock of the
It
episode
is.
is how
Yes,
long the lithium crystals are going to
we
last.
have another ticking clock episode. I feel
Yep,
like every episode at this point has been a ticking clock episode.
which is strange given how badly Strange New Worlds does the ticking clock episodes,
Yes.
but yeah, that's apparently a deep in Star Trek history in its founding is a ticking clock. So we know him as, and I'm gonna try and do the voice. I don't
Uh
know
huh.
how well this is gonna go. We know him as Harcourt Fenton Mudd.
It's an awful voice.
That well, when we get to that episode, you will see that is exactly what it sounds like. So we know this is Harcourt Fenton Mudd, but he introduced himself as Leo Walsh. And I would just wanted to note, having because I don't know if the unpopular explorers are going to remember, but I watched the Mud episodes like a while ago, and I can't remember which Strange Trek I did it for, and we didn't look it up.
Hmm.
Um, but I thought then, and I think now, this guy
I think it
is
was the bad, not terrible antagonist, not antagonist, protagonist. Did I say that right? No, no.
no Mud would be
Protagonist is
a
the good. Yeah,
antagonist.
antagonist. I think it was the antagonist episode.
Oh, okay, terrible. I must have been trying to rehabilitate him then, because I don't think of him as
I
terrible.
I think I'm not sure.
Okay,
I can't. That's why I'm trying to think of it in my mind, but I think it was that episode.
it does make sense. We do have an antagonist episode, and that's probably one that I looked it up for. I will say that this guy, I love him as an actor portraying a scoundrel. Like,
He's he's probably the best actor that I've seen in the original series that isn't like overly acting.
yeah, he
Next to Leonard Nimoy.
and he just plays a comical con man
Yes.
that just like
Yes.
you can catch on his schemes in a second, but in some way you still feel like he might get away with it because he's got the like lovable
Yeah.
dopey con man scheme to it. I did not look up his name. We looked up three other actors' names in this episode, but we'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that in a moment.
But uh, but no, I do like him as an actor for Harry Mudd, and I liked Rainn Wilson when we get to him in Discovery
I mean,
as Harry Mudd, even though his Harry Mudd was quite a bit different than this one. I guess maybe because it was a prequel, but
so because I looked up the other three actresses that we're gonna point out later in the episode,
hmm
uh, I still had the IMDb up for this
oh
episode.
okay.
So his name is Roger C. Carmel.
Yeah, yeah, and he just looks like a scoundrel and moves like a scoundrel, and I don't know. I just
It
this
it wouldn't surprise me if every role that he had was like that.
yeah, like he was a big
He
character
got
actor back
typecast.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to beam people out. They get Harry Mudd out, Leo Walsh out, and the ship gets hit with an asteroid. The ship being not the Enterprise,
Yeah, the ship that
the cargo
Bud
ship.
was on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it blows up. And Scotty beams over three women.
This so this scene
Is where it all begins.
uh
This is where we will commence commenting on women's appearances and how men react to it.
all right, I'm just going to say this the way that I'm thinking it. All right. This scene showed three beautiful women being beamed aboard. The two that's in the front, they're already facing the rest of the crew in
Mm-hmm.
mud. But they're the one woman in the what she was wearing a green dress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a green dress, they only show her from behind, and when she turns around, I am instantly infatuated. Instantly, she is gorgeous. All the other two are beautiful too, but like I am locked in on this green
Yeah.
dress girl.
Just speaking from purely conventional attractive perspective,
Yes,
they cast very well. So well that I'm
yes.
like, this was on in the 60s, right?
I
like,
I feel like for that time they hit on the different types of women that males were attracted to at that point,
mm-hmm.
like the highly attracted, uh, and they hit like the three notes because they were each different and had their own different type of appeal,
Right.
and because there was one other that we were just like, oh yeah, like I would look at her, but like girl in the green, like she got me.
Like, uh, first off, I agree with that because I was attracted to all of them, and the one in the green definitely stood out to me as well. If I had seen this episode in 1966, which I was not alive for and would not be alive for quite some time after it, I would have invented in VCR in order to record this.
Would that have been Betamax? No, I don't
Whatever it
even think that
takes.
was even done
Yeah,
at that
no.
time. um, the look, the look on. So it was Scotty, Spock, McCoy, and a random crew member, right?
No, no, no. There's no random crew member
No,
this
so
time.
it's just
It's
the
just
three of
those
them.
three. Yeah.
The look that they had, even Spock, they had a close up on Spock, and
Which
it
look.
was just like, like even Spock in that like brief moment, like almost forgot he was half Vulcan.
Because we know Strange New World Spock and
Yes,
what we think he'll end up doing to everyone on the
yes,
ship. So, like, those three showing up. And then moving on to, like, Scotty and Bones. Scotty takes a big gulp. Like, and it's just
yes.
like, wow. And Bones is just looking at him like he's about to forget where he is at the moment and start being major inappropriate.
Old girl that he was infatuated in one of the earlier episodes that we watched, he
Gone.
completely forgot
Man
about her.
trap. Gone.
Completely, she's gone. She
Nancy who?
who
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 cares?
what
Nancy
what?
who cares? she is out.
Oh, another thing I want to point out before they got to the transporter, before they beamed the women aboard, they did talk about like that uh, they were losing power at this point,
Yes.
and they had lost power to the point where they were supplementing with battery power,
Okay.
which was also something that threw me off because
Like
I'm
lithium
like,
batteries?
exactly. That was exactly what I put in my notes. Isn't lithium part of batteries? Hold on, wait. I'm I am really clueless with their future technology rants at this point because what?
I'm not gonna lie. Um, when they mentioned batteries, I immediately thought of like 120 or 1,000 car batteries just like strung together by different jumper cables. And I'm like, is that what they're doing? Like that's where I am with technology. I
See,
do.
that's crazy. You thought of that. I thought of like if you ever seen like a Tesla battery put together, like they have like the small individual batteries that look
Oh, that makes much more
like
sense.
double A's.
Yeah.
Like I pictured like one deck full of just those, like all streamed across and like tied together.
Exactly. Where are the batteries on the Enterprise? It makes the USB C joke that I
Even
made.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The Enterprise leaves the asteroid field, and Kirk is like calling the transport room, trying to figure out like, did we save anybody's lives? Is everybody unalive? Someone just like tell me. And everyone's distracted with these women.
Oh yeah, Scotty. When they showed Scotty when they first beamed aboard, Scotty did this like gulp, like I am in trouble.
Yeah, it's like I need to remove myself from this situation. Quite frankly, is what.
And then even after that first close up of Spock, at this point, Spock is like, hold on, now he's like, I'm Vulcan. He composes
He's got it back
himself.
together. He's
Yeah.
he's reflecting on his experiences with Nurse Chapel and La'an and being like, I can get through this. I can get through this. Just need to focus and get. I'm the
I feel
first
like that
officer
hits.
now.
I feel like that hits harder now. The
It
fact that
does.
we know like what, as far as the like canonical depiction of Spock, like
Hmm.
we know that this happened in Strange New Worlds, and now this is like. It's almost like he's thinking like we already got this running joke that Spock is going to like screw everybody that's on the
Hmm.
ship
Yep.
by the end of Strange New Worlds because it seems like he's just running through everybody
Just one
and
situation shift to another.
and we're not talking about just women, all right?
Yeah, no, we're talking everybody.
Everybody. So at this point, we feel like when he saw these women beam aboard, he was like, three others I could add to the
Let's just got three
list.
names longer. Starting with the one in the green dress.
Yes, Green Dress is definitely the first one. Yes.
Um, so Kirk demands a meeting with the captain of the cargo vessel, Walsh, is what he's going under.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Spock plays it straight, confirms that they saved everyone. Scotty and Bones,
They're ready to risk it all.
yeah, they look
Yeah,
pretty longingly
they're they're
at the women as they leave.
they're ready to risk it all.
Yeah,
All.
they are having themselves a day at this point. This leads to a scene where the women are walking through a hallway. The cameraman in this scene
Did their
makes
jobs.
makes a choice.
They 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 did their jobs in, I would say, the best way possible.
If you're trying to highlight their attractiveness and why every man on this vessel is is distracted, then there you go. I noted here that everyone on the ship, based on what we've seen so far,
Mm-hmm.
is showing a modicum of restraint, given what we've seen like Yeoman
Trying to,
Rand go
yeah.
through. Yeah, like it's interesting because it's like,
Oh, Yeoman Rand isn't even in this episode.
no, she's not.
Interesting.
Thank God.
I think we needed a break from that character after the last
she,
episode. So
I think she needed a break from Star Trek.
yeah,
She need,
she uh
she went through it last episode. I'm like,
she's on vacation.
yeah,
That's my head canon.
take a break.
She's on vacation.
Um, so Walsh Mud asked Spock if he's Vulcanian because we haven't locked that in yet.
Yeah, that threw me off.
Yeah,
Not Vulcan, but Vulcanian.
yeah. So I don't know. Mud seems like to me the kind of person that like drinks in the morning, so maybe he just slurred
Oh,
it or something.
100%. Oh, so he does?
I drink in the evening.
Say that to yourself.
And they basically have like a conversation about like how whatever they're doing, because they've already insinuated that there's something that these women are doing
Mm-hmm.
that's
That's
excuse the big word here.
enticing.
Yeah, that's enticing them. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's a preternatural ability to entice men that's buoyed by something.
I almost thought that they were like giving off certain pheromones that like made anyone from that's sexually attracted to that sex
Yeah,
like instantly just like linger on them. I truly thought that.
yeah. Because I mean, Bones gets to it later. Like these women are pretty, but
Mm-hmm.
even as men growing up, like you can be around a pretty girl and not like be
Like
stuck.
yeah, just stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like I can't think,
yeah.
I can't act. Like like insert instructions here, like on how to act. So like they're having this effect on everybody. So there's something going on.
A lot of the women that I would say that I was like stuck on were like they're normally celebrities. So it's like
So it's
it's
almost like a parasocial.
yeah.
And also, there's nothing there to ruin it because they're not going to show up
Yes.
and like
Hmm.
say something or do something that's like, yeah,
And like yeah, I've met a woman in real life. One of them being my wife, of course. Like yeah, I was just like stuck on for a minute, but it's like you snap out of it after a minute. Like
yeah,
it's just like
exactly,
oh Dante, what you doing? Come on.
yeah.
Right.
And I've certainly had crushes, and the ones that go unrequited, just at some point you're just interacting with them as a person, like
Yes.
like you still kind of recognize like, oh yeah, there's this
Yes.
pretty woman that I like and like being around, but once you interact with them, like you can let them go for the day, right? Like
Exactly.
it's not that
Exactly.
big of a deal, but that's not the effect that they're having on the men on the ship. So something is going on. I just have a note here that says Kirk sees the crew. Oh, Kirk. Okay, so they get to Kirk's office.
Hmm.
Kirk sees the crew of the cargo ship.
Kirk is instantly like,
Yeah,
dang.
he was not expecting it. Nobody warned him.
No one did. No one
Nobody
did.
warned him.
I think Spock. I mean, Spock as my first officer and also my wingman. Like Spock, come on
Should have
now,
given him a bit of a heads up, quite frankly.
Captain. There's three women there, and they are um, pretty beautiful. Like just just throw it out like that.
Yeah,
Like hey,
and Mud Walsh, whoever, explains that the women are the cargo.
yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just like spoil this because I'm like, this could have gone a bad
Oh,
way
100%.
with like women being treated as property, traded, or and it kind of like gets on that. But
they still hit that, but it's also at the same time the women the women are doing this of their own free will. It's not like
yeah,
that they're being forced into it, or it's just
exactly.
like
I,
slavery or anything like that.
Oddly enough, for fumbling so hard on consent in Charlie X, and certainly the last episode just
Yes. Look,
flouting it, they do make an intentional effort to make sure that they check back in with the women to make sure that they're on board
yes,
with what is going on in the overall situation, which I appreciate because it adds to the levity of the situation to
it
be
does.
like, okay, they're the cargo, but they're not like the property here.
Plus, it would have been really hard to talk about this. Extremely hard to talk about
You know,
this.
honestly, I think if they hadn't done that, we probably would have had a conversation and be like, I didn't want to end on the
Hmm.
last episode and miss a week, but like, I probably need to process this
Yeah,
one
yeah,
before we.
yeah.
Okay, so Kirk explains in the log post commercial break because these things are cut to commercial breaks.
Uh,
That mm-hmm.
before you get to that, like after commercial break, he comes back. Captain's log, start date 1329.1.
What was the start? The first one.
The start was 1329.8.
Oh, that's interesting.
How did we go back in time? The star dates are instantly starting to not make sense.
Right.
And my whole purpose of doing this chat was to like see like if there's a rhyme or reason to the star dates that they throw out, but it's starting to sound like that the writers just write any damn thing. Like that's what it's starting to look
Yeah,
like.
to be 300 star dates points or whatever, I don't know what it is,
Because
less to start the episode and then to go back further.
and then when I looked this up, the whole point part is like okay, so 1329 is the day. That is the day, and then the point is so it goes point one, point two, all the way up to point nine until it goes to the next day. So it's supposed to be like 1/10 of that day.
Mm-hmm.
So 1329.8 is already like you're pretty much close to the end of that day. And then 1329.1, that's the beginning of that day. Like how do we
Well, in two ways, it already doesn't make sense. This is somehow earlier than the episode we just watched, and
yes.
we've gone back in time in the same
Yes.
episode,
In the same episode.
which is interesting because we had a time warp episode, didn't we? Like there was an episode that ended with us going back in time, and and they were like,
Not for TOS yet, have we?
I thought one of the
I didn't.
episodes.
I didn't think any of the other episodes had a time warp.
No, no, no,
Not yet.
not an accidental one like through the Stardate, but like it was actually part of the plot. Um,
Oh man, I'm misremembering that. I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head, but
maybe
um,
it was Where No Man Goes Before.
it's possible. But I'm like the past this episode and the past
Yeah, that
episode
one.
kind of like uh,
It was the Naked Time, I think,
it was the naked
that
time.
ended with like some really random time travel at the end. Yeah, they ended up 3 days prior um,
Oh,
at the end of
you
that
can see,
one.
but that would have made sense on that. But no such time warp happened in this episode.
Yeah, no, but I just think it's weird that we keep ending up going back in time randomly. Because Kirk actually at the end of that one, I don't know if we talked about it at the end of Naked Time, makes like a reference to like, well, we might have to use that technology again, and I was immediately like, there be whales on this
The
ship,
ship, yeah.
Captain. Like,
Well,
yep,
there's another time they do it in the actual series too.
there is. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just.
I can't wait for the episode. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, okay,
It is.
all
Yeah.
right. I don't remember that
I
episode.
don't think it happens in this season though. I think it's
Okay,
like the
so
next
we're a
season.
ways away
Yeah,
from it.
we are.
Okay. I guess sorry for the digression there. Where was I? Do do do
Uh,
do.
uh Starting the after the commercial scene, start eight.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So Kirk is explaining in his log that there's some sort of weird magnetic effect that the women are having on the men of the ship, and we talked about this a little bit. I immediately thought of two episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and one
Mm-hmm.
we immediately aligned on the Orion
The
episode
Orion
on
episode, Star Trek
Enterprise,
Enterprise.
and
Yeah.
then the other one I kind of spoiled because I had you look up a clip, and it's this one here. The I have it as the Famke Jensen episode.
She is gorgeous. Like
Yeah,
I do love that. That is one of my favorite episodes of Next Generation.
I don't know
And,
when this episode aired, but I feel like I started to become a man
well,
as a result of that
I
episode.
commend Riker in this episode because he showed the largest restraint that any man could have had because she is drop dead gorgeous. I would have folded like a lawn chair.
I mean, this is on a top on James Bond. This is
Mm-hmm.
Jean Grey in the X Men. Like
Mm,
everybody
mm.
knows
Yeah,
who she is. Like she's a pretty lady, and I just saw her recently. Maybe not recently, but I saw her in something like reflecting, I think, on a James Bond one, and I was like, "You're still fine."
yeah,
Goodness gracious!
yeah.
And so
She's gorgeous.
I think even this TNG episode hits on the same thing because she is actual property and like fulfilling a duty. Like it actually goes further than what this TOS
But
episode
wasn't
does.
it wasn't it she was like she's supposed to be almost like a arranged marriage type deal
Yeah.
where she was specifically uh I hate to use this word bred
Yes.
to uh
Be.
have like be this gorgeous, this beautiful
Well.
for in the intent of marrying this off to another
Yeah.
people that like
And she's empathic, so she's going to
oh yeah
imprint
yeah yeah yeah
on
yes
this world leader, and that's the thing where she becomes such like that's like her magnetic pull on the ship is
yes
because she can kind of like read men's intuition and kind of like fit any moment personality wise in addition to what she looks like, and so like it becomes like a whole thing where like eventually she I think she imprints on Picard and his sense of duty gets her to go do the arranged marriage, but she has way less choice in this episode than
no remember
these
because
three do.
the Ferengi were like
Yeah, they're
they
trying to steal her.
they're trying to like because they thought it was just they didn't know what
Yeah,
it was because she was in like this bubble type thing.
yeah.
So the Ferengi was trying to like figure out what it was and try to like take it to make money off of
Hmm.
course. And when they caught the Ferengi that was like examining the bubble, he ended up like accidentally like bumping into one of the
Yeah, and it
magnetic
opened it
strings that
up.
was keeping it up, and she opened up. So, but the first person she saw was Picard.
Yeah,
So it was supposed to be the first person that she saw. It was supposed to be that I believe it was a
that dude.
king.
Yeah, some king
Yeah, some
dude or
king on
whatever.
another planet. So like the first person she sees, that's the person that she's instantly supposed to be infatuated on, and it just happened to be Picard.
Yeah.
But also in the same episode, like she kind of gets in, she kind of gets enticed by Riker too.
Well, one of her principal abilities, much like the three women here, is to
Hmm.
entice men and for lack of a better word, make us feel feels
Yeah, yeah,
for her. And so like it's an interesting thing to me. Well, I guess what I was getting at is an interesting thing to me that feels like the women in this episode have more agency than she does in this episode.
hmm
But then in the Enterprise episode, it's straight up that the Orion women are the ones in charge, and they're
yes,
like
yes.
proactively using these abilities
Which
to.
I love that twist, by the way,
It
because
was great.
it was always depicted that the Orion men sold off the women,
Yeah,
and the women were all the ones that were enslaved. It's like no, he was like at the end, like no, no oh you think I'm in? No, no, I'm not in charge. The women are.
yeah, yeah,
And then that's why when they cut to the three women walking through the it's like
yeah.
I was like, I was not expecting that, and that is a great twist um
And those three
on
were, to my recollection, were fine as all get out
oh
too.
they were
Yeah.
gorgeous all three of them, uh and I thought that was a good twist on a species that was introduced in the original series that was always depicted
In the
as
first episode,
yeah.
the first whatever, the cage.
Ew. You're thinking too hard about it. That was always depicted as the man were in
Hmm.
charge, and then when we get to Star Trek Enterprise, years later, 3 decades
Yeah,
later
where is it?
almost, um, that no, it's the women that are in charge and the men who are enslaved.
And Lower Decks keeps it going,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah,
is interesting.
which I even love that with Tindy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
when you're at home with them. Yeah.
But I do have to point out like Riker's resolve within that episode that we pointed out because Riker, man,
Riker to bridge. If you need me, I'll be in holodeck 4.
as soon as he leaves her,
Look, as soon as he leaves, uh,
he's like immediately like, I can't go back on duty.
look,
I need to release some stress.
and Kirk, Spock, Scotty, Bones, Johnny.
Oh, 100%.
Like, there's no holodeck on
There's
there.
no holodeck.
So here's
Wrigley's Pleasure Planet is
we're
probably
heading
light years
to yeah,
away. Uh, Probably the tapes
the
that they had,
entertainment
the
tapes.
entertainment tapes they have
And
won't
then
even work.
we got one more this way. The Saturninius harem girls. The harem
Oh yeah, yeah. They
that's
talked
on
about that
Saturn.
in this. Yeah, so they do point that out. It's like Saturninian harem girls. So it's like depicting that there is a brothel on Saturn, either on Saturn or in orbit of Saturn.
Starting to get the feel
Like,
that in the Federation, if there's a planet, there can be a brothel. This is basically what I'm starting to get.
basically.
I guess if stuff like this happens to you on a regular basis, it's like you're gonna need one nearby.
There's a lot to unpack in this episode. We're gonna try not to make this episode 10 hours long. Okay.
No. I was looking at the timer. Also, Unpopular Explorers. I am on the clock because I got stuff I gotta do tomorrow. That starts in the
Yeah.
morning, so I will keep it rolling as best I can. But as Dante here mentioned, well, that was before we recorded last week. We're not going to cut off good conversation.
No,
It'll
of
be
course
fine.
not. Of course not.
Let's see. So those are other episode tie-ins. I thought it was cool to talk about. Did you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, Kirk is convening what appears to be a preliminary hearing on Walshmud. I'm just going to call him that until we get
I'm
his name.
confused about this.
Yeah, he's not allowed to do that. If you're detained by the military, they can't also start to basically do a preliminary hearing for you. Like, he needs to turn him over to a civilian.
Yeah, it's some type of civilian government that's
Yeah.
in this area, but like it's suggesting that they have some type of jurisdiction in the space that they are currently in, but they haven't like talked about what said jurisdiction is. There isn't like at this point, at this juncture in episode 7 of the original series, they haven't talked about the Federation. We haven't said anything about Starfleet. So they haven't even talked about like what is the jurisdiction that they have? Like, is this their space that they can uphold laws in?
Yeah.
So this part right here confused me as to why they would do this without establishing at least that part of it.
Yeah. And they haven't done that, which makes it wrong. And they've also, just to go back to the point that I was making a little bit, he also can't do that based on who he is. And if he's military, then he really can't do it. If he's treated as space exploration police, then the police
Mm-hmm.
also don't do your preliminary hearing either. You got to refer it to the judicial branch so that the
Mm-hmm.
right process can go through it. So, like,
I mean, but hell, we talked about in the Strange Track, like where like there's no such thing. Like JAG officers are not even on board ships. Like it's just the captain that
well,
can.
but a JAG officer would have jurisdiction over Starfleet personnel, but Mudd isn't. He sounds like he's just like a regular Joe. So imagine someone driving down from Fort Campbell, dragging you out of your house, and then convening a preliminary hearing in front of a general.
Yeah,
Like, it's all kinds of wrong.
but I would imagine like that's something they could do on the base. Like if
Not
if
if you're a
you
civilian.
even as a civilian, if you do something wrong on the base, they'll. Well, okay. The general can't convene. Granted, you would have to. There would be a trial, but it would be.
I'm 100% certain that if you're a regular civilian, you're not in the
Uh-huh.
army. So if you're not in like the military, you can't break the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just not
yeah.
subject to it. So if I break a law on a military base, they need to hand me over to police who will take me to the judicial branch, who will determine the charges that and the bail and all that stuff. Like it's not they can't start dispensing civilian justice, and so like
Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
so if anything, Kirk should have just confined him to quarters or threw him in the brig and been like, "I'll leave you at the next starbase and
Yeah,
I'll
the
get
next
you."
starbase we get to,
Yeah,
then yeah.
but he's sitting here being like, "I'm gonna figure out the evidence that we have and the charges I can hit you with, and then someone's gonna try you at some point in the future." And I'm like, "This is all screwed up on so many levels."
Yeah, yeah.
This is like, does this man not have rights, or is this, or do they, or is this fascism?
Yeah, it's definitely fascism. 100%.
It's like, is the Federation fascist? Should we talk about that again?
Oh, again, we talked about that already?
And of course, that has no modern thing. It's not like there's some federal agencies or deputized military soldiers that are in domestic cities making arrests in order to,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I'm not saying that because, I mean, is that going on? I don't really follow the news because, you know, I'm not really political. Star Trek's not
Yeah,
political.
there's no point in
Yeah.
even because
Yeah.
we don't talk about political stuff on this channel.
No, no, no. But, you know, if it was happening, it'd be totally messed up.
100%.
Just for your sake, the 49ers Seahawks game just went final. Seahawks won 13-3. They're the number one seed.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
The 14-3?
13-3.
13-3. That's a low score.
Low scoring game. Yeah, I was expecting more fireworks.
The
Holding a Shanahan offense to 3 points.
the Seahawks have like definitely surprised me this season. I at some point I knew they were going to be good, especially when they played my team, but I didn't think they were going to be this good.
Yeah,
Like,
they're good.
but this is a sports channel. This is a
Oddly
Star
enough,
Trek channel.
I think the Titans only lost by like 4 points to them, and Cam Ward had one of his best days.
Tampa Bay won against them, so
Yeah.
and we crapped the bed the rest of the season. So
Yeah, weird. So, anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, if a military officer arrests you, you do not subject to their jurisdiction.
yeah, you're just held. You're just held
Yeah,
until
exactly.
your trial is able to be.
Until you're in a civilian court.
Mhm.
I just want to. I don't know. I know I live in the United States where this wouldn't happen, but I just want to say again, if a military officer takes you into custody, they cannot assess charges against you.
Did you just really say that where that wouldn't happen?
The United States? I mean, is that happening now? Like in major cities? Is that something that?
I know a few cities where that's happened,
Man, I really gotta get caught up on the news.
but we're not political.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Star Trek, political, whatever. So Kirk is forming this illegal preliminary hearing that's going on, and he confines Mudd to quarters, which he can do. Back on the bridge, Sulu walks on the bridge with Lieutenant Senior Grade Johnny Farrell, our boy, and
Johnny is hilarious in this episode. This whole episode.
he's the navigator. He's one of the rotating navigators that we've had so far. And I'll drop this word for the first time because it's appropriate here.
The N word.
No.
Oh. My bad. Wrong.
Our boy Johnny is irreversibly and uncontrollably horny right now.
Oh, the H word. I had the words mixed up.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah.
Like Sulu's trying to get him to get it back together because Sulu's
Yeah.
the helmsman, so you're like, I need a navigator, and he's just like, but these women on this ship, man, like
Sulu's like, I get it. Truly, I get it. However, my boy, I gotta fly this ship, and I need you.
Yeah, exactly. So Scotty reports that there's only one lithium crystal left.
Okay, I have to talk about this.
1 second. It has a hairline split in the bottom
Mhm.
of it,
Mhm.
and they blew a converter assembly. I don't know what that means, which is bad. So all that is a bad update.
Okay, converter assembly, I get.
Okay.
That part of it, I get. Basically, they're saying like there is a supplemental power that they want to utilize to like feed the rest of the ship, and this actually converts that power into the right power that's used to power everything for the ship. So I get that. They're saying that blew, so they
sucks.
can't use that
Yeah.
as a power source right now. So that part made sense to me. The part that didn't, as I know Star Trek lore, is that there's one lithium crystal left, and and in future Star Trek, there's only one dilithium crystal powering the whole ship.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, there's one dilithium crystal that controls the antimatter reaction within the warp engine. They're saying that they're supposed to have six,
Oh,
so there's
okay.
six of them to control. But granted, they haven't talked about that their engines using antimatter.
Uh, yeah, I don't think they have any of this figured out.
None, no.
Yeah.
It's
Well, because it's interesting. You would
uh huh.
think that the warp engine or the idea of it faster than light travel, like we've had this, I
Mm-hmm.
think we've talked about. I think I broke your heart one time talking about how
Yeah,
like impossible
yeah,
it really
yeah.
is.
That really hurt my feelings.
You would think that there would be like scientific papers that they're like taking inspiration from to feed their
Mm-hmm.
technobabble. Apparently, that's a later Star Trek thing,
That is.
and apparently, the warp engine thought started on Star Trek and was later researched by
Mm-hmm.
theoretical physicists just on their own because they watched Star Trek and were like, oh, is that a thing that could actually happen? And
But
they're
I
like,
thought Gene Roddenberry consulted like his he had scientist friends that like told him like, yeah, this is something that's possible, that is theoretically possible.
yeah, but I think there's a level of being like, hey, if a piece of well, he probably didn't say it this way, but like, could you have an engine that propels you faster than light and
Mm-hmm.
maybe at warp space or something like that? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. I think they've known that for a while, but like someone to actually like start doing calculations, get like the
What
language
is
around
actually
it correct
possible?
and all
Yeah.
that stuff. That apparently happened later because of Star Trek. So the fact that they don't have it together now is because it's purely just made up sci-fi magic.
So when they were talking about the dilithium circuits earlier, they were basically alluding to these dilithium crystals. They're like they lost a few of them at the beginning of this episode when trying to extend their
Yeah,
shields out to protect
and they're
the
not
ship.
getting it right because they're just making it up as they
Yeah,
go
yeah, because
along.
they're trying to put the ship into a precarious situation where like, oh, this is a time clock. We have to get here before we run out of fuel or we run out of energy, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, and then when they talked about the converter, that makes sense.
Okay.
That is something that is like I can let that one slide definitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys haven't picked up, I'm not a very technical person. My friend here has engineering technical background, in addition to his, finance role and things like that. So like the
Hmm.
technobabble will frequently just be words I hear that just justify whatever is about to happen, and I just kind of accept it. But every once in a while, I'll hit on one too where I'm like, I don't get
That doesn't make sense.
yeah, what's going on here? So that hasn't quite happened for me this episode. So you're picking up on all of them because I'm just kind of like, yeah, sure, we're down to the last lithium
Well,
crystal.
and granted, this is one part of Star Trek that has always fascinated me about the warp
Yeah,
core, and like how it's used, how they create it, what causes a warp reaction, how are they able to create the warp static bubble that they use to bend space time to like propel them forward. Like this has always been something that I've like researched since I was a
awesome.
kid. Yeah.
So Walsh slash Mud says that says in front of security because there's security in the briefing room that
No, no.
they're
At this point, it's just mud. Because remember, they already had the hearing, right?
no.
Is it? Have we already had the hearing
We
yet?
haven't we've determined that there needs to be a
Oh,
hearing,
okay, okay, we're almost there. Okay.
which is illegal, and Mud shouldn't say anything and just reject Captain Kirk's authority, uh, just in case anyone gets picked up by a military
What
officer
they
in
don't
other
have Miranda
countries.
rights in the future?
Technically, you only have to be Mirandized if they're going to do an interrogation. Um, so they're in this room chilling out, and Walsh Les Mud is like getting with the women, and they're trying to like basically hash out like
Mm-hmm.
what they're going to do, and Mud's like basically like, don't take a medical exam. So that's good. Not that that goes anywhere. But
Oh,
anyways,
Mud is telling the women to not take a
yeah.
medicine. Yeah.
And oh, I see what you're about to say. One of the women does spill the fact that Leo Walsh is not his name because he calls him calls him Harry
Harry,
in
yeah.
front of the two officers who apparently don't report it to Kirk at all, so it doesn't even matter.
Well,
Uh,
he's this officer is like infatuated with the women, so he didn't hear anything. He's
there's one
just
officer that's infatuated, and then
oh, that's
there's
right. Yeah, yeah. Ensign standing on business.
Ensign
Yes,
standing on business
Ensign
is
standing
Vincent.
on business is like locked in. He is locked. He's like, I got a wife. I got a wife. She looks way better than these women. Look, hey, like yeah, they're pretty and everything, but they don't compare to her. Like I'm on duty.
Yeah,
Other other security guard, he's looking like
staring right at him,
God
eyes not
dang.
moving. Yeah, like I am just like, is there not HR on the ship?
So
Did
I
they
don't
not
know
call
why
anyone?
Ensign standing on business didn't like report that to the captain.
Honestly, I just think Ensign standing on business is just highly inexperienced. I feel like this is his like first post, first real opportunity, just
That's
trying to
possible.
stick by the book,
That's possible.
not cause too much trouble,
Mm-hmm.
but wants to do his best. But like, yeah. Um, so Spock tells Kirk about the lithium situation. I think this is on the bridge. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have definitely, I have definitely like screwed up my notes here, taking them too fast. Because I have Scotty and Kirk brief Kirk. I think it's Scotty and Spock brief
Be Kirk,
Kirk,
yeah.
and they determine they need to go to Rigel 12 to get more lithium
The crystals.
because
Mm-hmm.
they got that high grade ore
Yeah,
on
they
Rigel
got
12. They
that
got that.
pure uncut
Yeah, exactly.
lithium. All right,
Like, don't take too much of
we
that stuff,
we
Philip.
we need the good stuff
Mm-hmm.
only for our ship. Okay.
That was Durag Spock that said that. Some high grade ore
And he
on
said that
Rigel 12.
currently they only have the ship. That's when they talked about the ship runs on 6 crystals, and they only had
Okay.
one left.
So important for your start date. It's less than a 2 day trip away.
Yes. So the next scene,
Yes, is the hearing.
start date 1329.2. So
Okay, you know what? In the last episode,
mhm,
we were thinking he was reporting his log from the future and we were seeing it play back in the past.
yes,
Maybe that's what's happening here.
I hope
Except
so.
except it doesn't totally work that way.
It doesn't. I'm hoping so, but it doesn't. But at least now we're going in order
Yeah.
because it was point one earlier. Now it's point two. So only a little bit of time has passed before we got to this hearing.
Yeah. Kirk mentions again that the women are having a hypnotic effect on the men in the ship. And I think it's important to note that the only woman we've seen besides those three so far is Uhura
Yes,
in the gold dress.
yes. And I don't. Yeah, I don't even think like even in the hallways did we
I
ever
don't
see another
I don't think
woman?
so.
Which is the crazier part to me because I pointed this out while we were watching it. It's like there are other women on this ship,
Mm-hmm.
and here, Ahura being one of them, who is drop dead gorgeous. I might add,
Mm-hmm.
Nichelle Nichols, like
R.I.P. to the legend.
R.I.P. She's gorgeous.
And we've seen Yeoman Ran, and Yeoman Ran had
Yes,
Junior Roman.
yes.
Yeoman, not Roman. Yeoman that was on there. We've also seen in Where No Man Has Gone Before. Well, I guess she's not on the ship anymore, but like
Oh, you talking
there
about
was a
Gary Mitchell's?
psychiatrist. Yeah. Number one, like there's a bunch of
Yeah,
women in Starfleet. Like,
and I'm pretty sure they look even as beautiful, if not more beautiful. Now, of course, in the context, like beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder. Like, I mean,
well, keep
me and Patrick talked about this offline. Like,
yeah.
there will be women that I would feel like I would be really attracted to, and Patrick would be like, "Oh yeah, she's beautiful," but not like this girl over here.
Yeah.
And I would be like, "Oh yeah, she's straight." Like, so there are nuances there. Like everybody's idea of what beauty is different.
Well, and I told you like offline. I'll not get into it too much. I don't do the 1 to 10 scale. I think the 1 to 10
Mm-hmm.
scale is stupid. Um, I trust what my body and senses are telling me like
Mm-hmm.
about attraction, and I'm not someone like as you know that like socializes a ton about who I'm attracted to and who I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
attracted
yeah.
to. So for me, like I get that there's like a conventional realm of attractiveness that's like some circle that where like everyone agrees that
Yeah,
these women or on the women's side there's these men we're being heteronormative here whatever are the attractive people, and then like everything else becomes a little bit more dicey from there. But
There are just some people that like both sexes, regardless of like what you like. You're just like, no, they're beautiful.
yeah,
Like, and you could say that on both sides, male or female.
yeah.
So
So yeah, so like so if you guys, so I wonder if people are just waiting for us to be like, oh, Green Dress is a 8 out of 10, or who I
oh
think
no no
Ruth is a
no
10 out of 10,
no
and then
no.
yeah, I don't do that. I don't do the 1 to 10 scale. Like I'm just like so far. Actually, I think so far all the women that have been presented in the show have been on a like just like am I attracted to them or not scale have like
I
pretty much to me like I mean like yeah I'm attracted to them.
I think I'm on the side of like just about everyone that they showed. I am attracted to.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, even with 1960s standards, because like of course, like each generation has like a different way of like how people dress and
look.
hairstyles and all that stuff. So like, I'm pretty sure people now, if we went 50 years into the future, people will look back on this and be
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
ah, they were. I mean, they were straight. Why they wear their hair like that? Like,
That's hilarious. Well, and I underscore all this to say that he's noting the hypnotic effect that the
yeah,
women are having
yeah.
on the men again, and this is a very men-centric episode. And we're just saying this to say that, like, yeah, these women are attractive, but yeah, like they're like at some point you should be able to lock in,
They're
and
beautiful,
like
but not to that point where you're just like goggling over them and can't think about work and can't do anything else, and that's all you think about. Like that's
yeah, and like so, and someone who would do that to you as an individual is probably like one or two people in the world, and you're
yes,
infatuated with them for other
yes.
reasons too. So like, yeah, it's like they're having a weird effect on the ship.
But I looked at it as a infatuation, like, hey, like I want to marry this person. Like that's the way I look at that type of person. Like you're this is the epitome of the type of person that you really want to be with.
Yeah,
That you've always imagined that you would be with. So
and
they
somehow,
grabbed your attention that hard.
yeah, and somehow they're doing that to every man on the ship.
Every
So
man
it's
on the ship.
weird.
Yeah.
They got Mud in the presence of a lie detector, and they catch that he lied about his name. Um,
Hey, I want this lie detector, by the way.
The lie detector is hilarious because he's like, I'm Leo Walsh, and it's like, incorrect. And he's like, I'm Harry Mudd, and he's like, incorrect. And it's like, I'm Harcourt Fenton Mudd. And I stopped there and was like, okay, I get that it caught him in a lie, but he didn't lie the second time. His,
Yeah.
his
It,
name is higher. Like, how do you know what his real name is?
yeah, there are people that call me Don. There are people that call me Donnie. Like, there are variations of my name of Dante. Like, I, I don't. I feel like if I had a lie detector strapped to me and I said, "Oh, my name is Don such and such," that it wouldn't like jump up and be like, "Oh, that's a lie." No,
Mm-hmm.
that's it's still my name. Like I'm known as that. Like my true name is Dante, but like
Yeah.
I'm still known as these other names. Like
Especially this is before the computer has actually looked up who he is. So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
how is saying your
yeah.
nickname a lie to the point where this thing's gonna be like, they're lying. Saying your nickname is a lie. He lies about some other stuff, and then finally, and that's what prompts the computer to bring up his criminal record.
Hmm.
And the only thing I noted is that his criminal record is pretty lengthy. I didn't write everything down on it, but it's got smuggling and this, that, and the other in it. And they also still have cursive.
Yeah, yeah. His signature,
Yeah,
which is funny now because like they stopped doing cursive in
yeah, cursive is
school.
disappearing.
Yeah, which is crazy to me because I
It was
mean,
a
at least learn how to sign your name in cursive. Like
yeah,
I understand like the whole like we don't have to do the whole full alphabet, but at least learn how to sign your name in cursive. But so that's funny. There's like this is a depiction of what the 23rd century, I believe 23rd or 22nd. I can't. Wow. No, no,
okay,
because
hang on.
TNG is 24th.
24th century.
Yeah, so this is 23rd century.
Yeah,
So the fact that like that is something that is still used, what 2 to 3 centuries later.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. And I wrote this pretty verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's charged with galaxy travel with no plan,
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
without an identification beam.
I have zero clue what the frick that is. Like,
We did determine that if there is a Federation in the background, he didn't file a flight plan with Federation FAA.
why didn't it just say transponder?
I
Like
don't
that's
because they're making it up as they go along.
but this is already like in
Oh,
the
that's already
60s. This is
technology.
this that's already technology.
That's funny.
Like planes exist. Like, yeah, they're still like not the planes that are now, but like that still exists and there was still a such thing
I
as a
mean, it's the jet
transponder
age.
then.
So yeah.
So
I don't know. Is another word for a transponder identification beam?
hell no, I have never I went to school for this.
Failure to answer a starship signal, thus affecting a menace to navigation.
Mm,
Not sure what that means.
mm.
And operation of a vessel without a master's license.
Okay, that was another one that threw me off. Like, so what the hell is a master's license? So you gotta have a master's license in order to. And why is it called a master's license?
No clue. No clue.
this is this is like
There are parts of script writing in this show that it's like a what they call it, Mad Libs, where it's just
yeah.
like fill in the blank with a word when you get to it.
And then Mud is like, no, I do have a master's ticket.
Yes, he does say he does.
And then the computer, who is like probably the biggest cock blocker that you could ever have,
It's like absolutely not.
absolutely not. No, you do not have a master ticket. Your master's license was revoked on stardate 1116.4.
Yes.
I need to know
How long ago that was?
how long ago this was. Like, these star dates are this one episode. I'm actually like punching myself for even determining in the last episode that I was going to start to like pay attention to this.
Yep, terrible decision.
I am. This was probably the worst decision that I've had so far.
Well, it was 200 star dates ago.
Yeah. So is that days? Is that years? Is that what?
Nobody knows. Especially the people who wrote it.
Oh my gosh! It's just like so. What happens when you get to 9999.9? Like,
Well, aren't the ones in like
does it just like?
the far future? Aren't they like 493568.14? Like, aren't they like? Doesn't it just?
But it's in it. So as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking of this as it's in days.
Yeah.
So 365 days in a year. Granted, like this is I'm thinking of Earth
Yeah.
logic here, but like still, by the time that they get to the next generation, this would have already we would have already been past those amount of days, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like thinking of my
'Cause it's
calculations in my
'cause it's like
head.
80 something years in the future.
Yeah,
I don't know what 80 times 365 is, but it's.
I mean, I got
it's
to do the
bunch of-
calculations, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure in my head, I'm just like, we would have went past it. So by the time you hit 999.9, so what does it do? What does it start over? You go back to zero on this, and then it goes to start date 0000.1. Like the star dates do not make sense at all. We're doing a strange track on that.
Sounds good to me. It's amazing how you've only been doing this for 2 episodes and you're this heated already.
Already. You know what? No. You know what? Yes. This is it. This is it. This is my 4 lights moment. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm thinking about this crap, this is really heating me up. Like, this is my 4 lights moment. Why do the star dates not make any sense? Could we like at least create some type of calendar type thing on this? Like, where it didn't have to be like 4 numbers. It could have been 6 numbers.
Yeah.
And the first 2 numbers depict like some type of arbitrary month. The other two does like an arbitrary date system, and then the other two does like an arbitrary year system.
Well, it's funny is because in real life we have that. Like, there's an international date set up. You probably have seen it in
Yes,
your work, and
yes,
it's like today's date would
uh
be
huh,
25/01/03,
yes.
and it's just like if you
Because we
write
have to
that.
follow that in the banking system when it comes to sending wires and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
and I worked at an international firm, and so like if you wanted to date your stuff where
yes,
anyone can tell what it was, you had to write it um, that way. So like it's not like there isn't something that sounds like a star date that doesn't already exist that you could have just gone by, and it's probably been around long enough that it could have been used back in the
it could
60s.
have.
Yeah, and it
It's, this,
sounded just as
this is
Star
something we've been
Trekky.
using for centuries at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. I'm not sure if it was even at the conception of the United States,
Hmm.
but I'm pretty sure at some point, especially when we got more into the technological age, that this was something that was created, and by this point, this is something that would have already been established. So why couldn't we do that? Even then, when we get to TNG, they still use the pretty much the same system.
Yeah, it's
Then,
Stardate something.
yeah, and it's the same amount of digits, I believe. Don't let me not let's not quote me on that. I believe it is the same amount of digits,
Oh, okay.
but I have to go back and double check.
For some reason, I remember it being.
You think it was longer?
Yeah, I thought it was a longer number, but you know what? I'm not gonna stand. I'm not gonna stand on business like that instant on that because I never paid attention to a ton. Except I noticed that in later 24th century stuff, it switched from starting with a four to starting with a five,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of
Mm-hmm.
noticed like the passage of time
Mm-hmm.
there, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So it's counting to f this episode over. It's counting upwards. That's what the star dates mean. Um, so yeah, I don't know. So you kind of mentioned earlier that the star dates making no sense means that you don't have a strict timeline that you have to keep to, which makes sense at this point because you got like two pilots and
Yeah.
stuff that's filmed out of order, that's airing out of
Then why even
order.
bring it up? If this is something you haven't like come come down to like to talk over with your writers and say like, is this the system that we're gonna go with to depict the passage of time? If you haven't created some like formula
Yeah.
for it, why even put that in lines in the show? In order, I granted, like they did it to make it sound futuristic.
Yeah.
They did it to make it sound like, oh, we're
Because Stardate in its own word is just feels like a futuristic word. Because the funny thing is I can't remember what
mm-hmm,
segment this was on NPR, but sometime when I was listening to it back in the early 2000s with my mom riding home from school and
mm-hmm,
whatever, um, they would do All Things Considered, and then I feel like a segment of that or some like buffer between it and one program was like basically a NASA report, and then like they made it sound like they were like,
yeah,
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 and
yeah,
this is Stardate April 4th,
yes,
2001 or whatever, right? Like, and it's like, oh yeah, hearing like Stardate made me go, oh, interesting, and then they gave like a regular date, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So it does make it sound futuristic, and you're about to get like a futuristic experience. But to your point, having it be a random number and not having, especially since they go out of their way a little bit to not drop the ball on, because
yeah.
we thought he was going to mess up the start date because they mentioned the start date before the hearing and they mentioned the start date in the hearing. We're like, there's no way this is going to be the same start date. And they actually nail it.
And they actually nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like they care enough to keep it somewhat consistent, but they don't know what to keep it
but
consistent
they
to.
didn't keep it consistent from the beginning of the episode to the next time that they pointed out a star date.
Yeah.
Like so, it, my biggest thing with this and with writing as a whole in TVs and television series and movies and all that stuff. And this is even something that comes up to this date as well. Like when you're creating a world, when you're creating something that's going to be filmed, you need to flesh out the fullness of that world, or don't talk about it. Like it's either you know how this works within this world, or you just don't talk about it at all.
Okay, so that's true. We do know how janky Star Trek came together, though.
We do, we
So
do.
two pilots.
I
I
understand
Love
that.
Lucy. Like,
Understand that.
so I kind of get that. Like, they're caught off guard
If
that they're going right.
if you
Like,
don't, but which is another reason why I didn't start doing this in the first few episodes.
mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, I didn't start doing this until episode
Oh, you didn't wait
6.
long enough.
Like the first few episodes was enough time for you to like, okay, this is a thing. Oh, we got queued for this amount of episodes for
Yeah.
this season. So this, I at least I would think this would be the time that Gene Roddenberry would take his writers. We go into some room and we just like sit down and we just like talk about the whole pantheon of this universe that we're creating. All right, so this is what we have so far. We probably need to set up some governing body. We also know that they haven't even established that yet.
Yeah, and we're not gonna get it for like, was it 7? It's like another 11 episodes, I think.
I believe
Before.
for a good minute.
Yeah.
Uh, we keep talking about these star dates. Like, wouldn't this be a good time for us to establish some continuity with the star dates and make that make sense? Like things of that concern, like
It does make me wonder, when did they realize that they're going to have to do this for a while and fill in some of these gaps?
I'm
Because
starting to
they
feel
are
like
kind of.
I'm starting to feel like it was until TNG. When everything is like fully fleshed out. Like
Well,
seriously,
surely they would have fleshed it out by the movies, because the movies have a pretty.
would the movies before TNG
Yeah, they
or
put out a
after?
few movies before TNG.
Because TNG started what 88, 87, 88?
87. 87.
Yeah. And when was the first movie?
First movie was like.
84, wasn't it?
No, that was before that. First movie was like 79.
No, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
Oh man, like that was well
I
before I
think.
was born.
Yeah, exactly.
That made me feel some kind of way.
I think they had. I think they had
Hmm.
the Wrath of Khan and the Search for Spock out before TNG came on, and I think it was
Oh, you're right.
the Voyage Home
The motion
when.
picture was 1979.
Yeah, and I think the Voyage
Yeah.
Home was the movie that was out when Star Trek: The Next Generation was either coming out or it was coming out soon. Like, it was all being filmed around that time together. I think it was the There Be Whales on this ship, which I will say anytime I
There'll be
can.
whales on this ship.
The first time I watched that movie, and I was like old enough to understand what's going on, I was
Mhm.
like, whales, whales. Okay, that is what we came back here to get, and we have them.
Captain,
So it's
there'll be whales on this ship.
yeah. So it's Back to the Future for us. Um, where you paused it, where I was making my notes, I did note that the women look pretty resigned to their fates as every lie that
Oh yeah,
Harry
yeah.
Mudd is
They
saying to me.
that was funny because it a little backstory for everyone else. Like we during when we're like making our notes and everything. Of course, we paused the episode to like make sure we got everything before we miss something else within the rest of that scene or going to the next scene. And where I had paused it at, the women were like looking at Harry Mudd like, oh, we're busted. This is over.
Yeah,
Like, I don't even know why we even tried to have this man even help us do this con that we're trying to do. Like, why are we even here?
yeah.
Like,
They needed me there to be like, you're all civilians, right? Yeah. Okay, well, this man has no jurisdiction over you except to detain you.
yeah.
And then call a civilian lawyer and get yourself out of it. Um, Mud starts with some BS. Oh, sorry, were you finished with your.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're done with the four lights.
Okay. Mud starts with some BS, and the women turn on their hypnotic powers on the men. And I have a note here that says Eve is in pink,
Mm-hmm.
Ruth is in green,
Mm-hmm.
Magda is in purple, and I just realized how Powerpuff Girls coded this was.
Oh wow.
They're like just one color off. I mean, the personalities, I don't think match up,
Yeah,
but
I don't think
like,
they miss. Like,
but it's definitely a
yeah.
pink green, like like purple, which is like a red blue mixture. Like it's like they got their own color schemes going as
Mm-hmm.
women. Um, so Mudd essentially explains that he is heading to a planet called Ophiuchus 3, I think, and he's delivering wives for the settlers. So these women,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly, have agreed to be wives for settlers. So he's just bringing them from point A to point B.
So it's not a enslavement type thing
Yeah,
or
exactly.
a some type of a ring where he's like trafficking
Yeah,
women.
exactly.
Like they want to be married to the people that he's going to like
Yeah.
marry you to.
I've never seen this show, but it
Yeah.
sounds like a 90 Day Fiance kind of thing. People are agreeing to get married for their own reasons
Hmm.
that aren't just like everyday life reasons. So
And that also goes back to the episode that you pointed out on TNG, the woman that was
yeah,
perfectly bred to be the wife of this. I think it was either a king or an ambassador of another
something like that.
civilization. Uh, dang, as many times as I watched this episode, I feel like I should know this off the top of my head.
And that guy ended up
Uh,
being such a big d bag. Like
yeah,
he
yeah.
was awful.
Even Riker was looking like this is the guy we gonna let her.
It's like really we went through all of this for this MF.
Yeah.
um, Spock in the room scans the women for data. There's no data available for him. I don't know what that means. Um,
That basically, I thought of that as there wasn't something that occurred that put them into the database. Like I'm looking at this from like our standpoint in real life right now. Like if you've never been fingerprinted, if you never had like some background check done on you and everything,
they
you don't have really any database on you. So if like the police had like found your prints at a scene and they ran them, it would be like it would come back
well, and
inconclusive.
they did say that they were all born and lived on worlds that were remote
Yeah,
and
yeah.
had no had no men or something like that. Like
Which I,
basically, like if which I guess you can make some commentary about like the rights of women that they had back then. Like basically, if they
mm-hmm,
don't get married, they can't get out of this, which is the reality for a lot of women back then.
unfortunately, yeah.
So like, I guess like it makes sense they wouldn't be on record from that perspective because they probably weren't born in something like to your point that would make them
This
be
was
on record.
this was also at the time where women could not have a credit card or any type of credit to their name.
Buck wild.
Hmm.
Yeah, the computer doesn't get any data on the women, but it starts outing all the men as being a little too excited for a work meeting.
I would have been okay. I know y'all like confused as to why I called the computer a cock blocker. Like this is why, because the computer just outed all the men in the room who were looking at these women like, oh, like elevated blood pressure. We got some uh
Rising heart
rising
rates
heart
and
rates,
yeah, e-
pheromones, additional pheromones
yeah,
being, but
extra
like,
perspiration.
yeah,
Like they're going through it. It's a tough day.
I would have been pissed off at the computer. Like,
Well, Kirk strikes her from the record, which I wouldn't have done. I would have been like, well, what was said was said.
what if you were one of the men that were like,
He was one of the men in there. I don't know what I'm outing on myself. That
yeah, I
I
went
just
out myself.
I'm about radical honesty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Spock, strike that for the record.
No, Captain. It's on the record. Um, so yeah, so I went through all their names. So we learned their names in this scene, the women's names,
Hmm.
and Harry thankfully explains that they're voluntarily. And I literally wrote there, "Thank God,
Thank God. They,
thank God that they're." And honestly, it comes up later because it seems like they can not do this if they want to. There's an element
yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah. Yeah, they have the choice.
Yeah, if you're not about
Hmm.
this, then like there's business dealings around it that could fall apart if they don't do it. So maybe there's like
We'll get to that more,
okay,
but like, yes, they still have a choice. This is not like they're locked into doing this.
yeah,
Like they sold themselves over for anything. Like they are doing this of their own free will by choice.
yeah. At no point is there any impression that Kirk was going to leave any of these women to have to do this
Yes,
if they didn't
yes,
want to be there.
yes.
He also basically doesn't seem to even care on a basic level that this women wiving settling business is like a thing. Like he's
Yeah.
just gonna take Mud directly to jail and be like, okay, and then you guys can figure out what to do with this. I've already said
He
that.
almost makes it seem like it's normal.
Mud does.
No, no, Kurt.
Kirk.
Like he always makes it seem like that's something that's like this is not his first time hearing something about this.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty
Um,
experienced at this point. I mean, like, I
I,
don't know
I,
what happened on that planet that Spock got from the mind meld in Strange New Worlds, but maybe this was related to it. Uh, Kirk closes the hearing. They're going to hand him over, and then the last lithium crystal breaks, and we're on batteries, people.
yeah, yeah.
Where do you think the alternator is on the Enterprise?
That was that converter.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a converter. That's pretty much
Well,
the
if he had called it
alternator.
an alternator, I would have understood.
And
Captain, we busted our bloody alternator.
it went out, Captain.
Right.
Well, make a new one. We can't, Captain. We gotta go to Starbase such and such, such and
Right.
such.
Mudd overhears that they're going to go to Rigel 12 because Kirk says that out loud in front of him. And they basically hatch a plan to marry the women off to the miners on Rigel 12. And Mudd will also take over the ship at the same time.
Well, that's his fantasy.
Yeah. And I have here, so that's the only thing that kind of threw me off. I'm like, so these women will marry like anyone? And also, he mentions that these men are like rich, and that threw me off as well because I'm like, supposed to be if you're a human, it's post scarcity society. Like
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't really matter that they're
Mm-hmm.
rich because you have what you need anyways. Like, can you imagine if everyone had health insurance?
Oh, wait, that's a
Man,
thing.
I mean, like just one time for the one time, right? Like if we
Mm.
could just do it once,
I wouldn't
like
imagine. I can't imagine like actually having health insurance where I don't like have to stick with a job
yeah,
to get that.
and you can be like free,
Like I can go anywhere.
yeah,
Like I don't have to stay with the current job I'm at,
yeah,
and I still have health insurance.
yeah.
Get the out of here. That's a strange concept. What would we call this?
I mean, I don't want to get political, but we call it great and liberating and maybe metaphorical. I don't know.
I I don't. That's a foreign concept to me. I don't. I'm not obliged. It is
Not following.
no, 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 no. I want. No,
I
no.
mean,
I want my choice. No, I want my choice. No, stop talking about this. No, no, I don't. Nothing else.
What's weird? You would still have a
No,
choice.
nothing else. I want my choice. I want to have my medical insurance. All right, to where I can go to any doctor that I want
Yeah, you'd still have.
within my network.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Well, we got more work to do here. It shouldn't matter that the men are rich. That's all I'm saying. Also, they didn't look all that rich when we got there.
Oh, we're getting to that point.
The Enterprise is 14 hours away from Rigel 12.
Oh,
And,
oh, by the way, start at 13:30.1. By the way, so we're in the next day.
yeah, and about
So
10 hours has transpassed since the last one we got. Um, the women are fraternizing with the crew. Magda's with Johnny because Johnny is like
horny.
all about this.
I'm
Absolutely.
just going to use the word at this point. I'm sorry.
I gotta admit, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, if I'm the captain, no. If I'm the first officer, no. If I'm Johnny,
Screw that. Screw that. I'm on Riker principles at this point. I'm first officer. Heck yeah.
Ruth is with Bones, and Ruth happens to get close to a medical scanner when she comes to visit Bones. And Bones noticed something. He's like, "That's not supposed to do it." Now, what the thing is doing is flashing red lights, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know what it's
it's
supposed to be doing.
it's basically saying like when she got to it, it just turned on the medical scanner. He didn't even do anything to turn it on. I think that's what he was referring to. So
Oh,
like, and the way that he was saying like, hey, do you have any like perfume or something that like emits radiation or something that's on you? It's to the point where it's like. I think he's stating like these scanners don't really turn on unless there's like a like medical issue that is like big enough to like, hey, pay attention to
like
this,
being on
pay attention to
drugs,
this. Yeah,
which is what they are.
yeah,
Um, it would have been great if he had said that later. You wrote that
yeah.
better than how they
It,
wrote it.
it, it, they didn't do a good job of
Because they
like explaining
revisit
that.
this and they
Yes,
don't say anything. He just goes, I'm just too horny to think, quite frankly.
basically.
That's essentially right. Well, we'll get to it. Um, so Bones gets her to walk by it again. Bones is mystified. Ruth inquires to the health of the miners, confirms that the miners are healthy,
Hmm.
and Bones is left to ponder whatever happened with the scanner. Eve,
Wow. Eve, Eve was like, I'm going for the gusto here.
absolutely.
Granted, like I think Mud like enticed her into doing this.
Mud really wants Eve to get with Captain Kirk because that's his plan to take over the ship.
Hmm.
Eve's gonna take over Captain Kirk, and then he can tell Eve what to do. Eve can tell Kirk what to do.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. Um, and she surprises Kirk in his quarters uh, by laying on his bed, being in his
Hmm.
bed when he gets there. Um,
How did she get in his quarters? Like,
you think
are they not locked or anything?
you
Like,
think Instant Stand on Business betrayed the uniform? No, that was
no, no, that's later. That's
someone let them in.
I mean, the Yeoman Ram was in his quarters in the last episode. Like,
But it seems like she's allowed to be there because
exactly.
she's his PA.
She probably has the access to be able to do so. But just some random civilian.
I'm gonna blame Johnny. I'm blaming Johnny.
You know
I think
what?
Johnny
You
did
know
it.
what, Johnny?
Johnny is suspect
Yeah,
number one
yeah.
for me.
I'm on board with that one. I'm on board
Yeah,
with that. Johnny was just like, yeah, oh, you want in the captain's quarters here? Like, computer override captain.
yeah. He was
Just lock.
showing off for Magda. Open the door, and Eve just walked right in.
And that's why he was with Magda
Yeah,
later, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, you're so smart."
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Idiot.
dumbass. Yeah.
Eve reports to the captain that they're getting catcalled on the ship.
Hmm.
Um, and Eve speculates it's because the men are lonely, and then she comes on to Kirk. Uh, Eve goes in for a kiss, and Kirk resists ish.
Oh, he was about to fold.
He,
He was that close from being like folded, like really like he was there.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, they have hypnotic abilities, so like, I know like there's a thing about Kirk being this Lothario character that just like goes for every woman which is interesting because we've watched 7 of these, and he's
And
yet
he's
to,
been the probably the most even more than Spock in
yeah,
certain situations. He's like held his hormones in.
yeah. This is the first time we've seen him come close to, yeah, because Spock was about to F Nurse Chapel in the Naked Time
Oh,
episode.
100%.
Um,
Granted, he was probably thinking about like old times.
yeah, there's a. No, I'm not gonna talk about Evil Kirk because we're having a good time here.
Nope, nope, we're not going there. We're not going there.
But yeah, so he resists. If she's about to fall, and Eve's like, "I don't want to do this because Mud's making me seduce Kirk," and she bounces up out of there.
Hmm.
Um, Magda gets instant stand on business to leave his post.
Okay, all right. So instant stand on business, like my boy,
You betrayed your uniform!
like we were giving him props earlier in the episode. Like he is locked in. He is standing on business. These girls are not getting to him. He probably has a wife that he's just like, nah, I'm not folding at all. Da da da. Like these women ain't nothing. Like This woman comes to the door, just looks at him, and he's like, "Yes, ma'am," and gets out the way. Like,
Well, and there is a bit of an issue because I do wonder if they're allowed in there because mud isn't just confined to
that
quarters.
is true. They never did uh, really break that down. If like he can
Yeah.
still have visitors.
So there is an interpretation where maybe Mud's not allowed to leave, but people are allowed to come see
Yeah,
him.
because the other girl was one of the
Yeah,
other girls were already there.
yeah. And so maybe he just like bailed out of the way so he doesn't like betray his wedding vows.
I still felt like he dipped after that. It was just like, you know what, f this. I'm going to my quarters.
Need to
Like
get the holodeck full.
I'm done. Like,
Well, they
hey,
don't have a holodeck.
Ensign Johnson, I need you to take over for me. I'm
Yeah,
like, I can't do this
I gotta stop by the
anymore.
entertainment tape library real quick. Get back to my quarters. Um, so the women have been gathering intel of all kinds. Like he has a Mud has essentially a spy network on the ship that
Hmm.
everyone knows about. And basically it ends up it can be a perfect scam. There's three miners, there's three of them, there's valuable lithium that Kirk needs. Like they're gonna try to figure this out where everybody gets off scot free,
Yeah,
essentially.
because he's trying. Mud is at this point. It's just like, okay, redoing his plan because he's just like, hey, there's lonely miners here, so we can like entice them to. And dilithium is actually one of those things that like everybody needs in this universe. Well, oh, sorry, not dilithium, lithium. Excuse me. We haven't got that far yet.
No, we
Uh,
haven't.
so he's looking at this as like a business opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. He
Hmm.
can solve all his problems. He doesn't need to go to Ephesus 3 and do wiping settling there. He can do
Hmm.
it on this colony or on this lithium mine and maybe get everything wrapped up. Um, so Eve walks into this conversation. She's having an issue. And then I don't know where Kirk is, but Kirk is tired of. Kirk is on the bridge. He's tired of dealing with the horniness and is tired of giving orders twice because men can't focus.
Oh, he
Uh,
is he is pissed.
yeah,
He is pissed. Like, I'm tired of giving orders twice.
this is becoming a recurring thing where Kirk gets pissed about something every episode that he's in. Somewhat unnecessary sometimes, somewhat necessary. Like this one, I feel it was
Hmm.
pretty necessary. It's like, come on, guys, we're at work. Like lock in.
Hmm.
Like, but other
Not,
times,
but not only that, not only like we're at work, but we're in a situation where we all could die. I need y'all to lock in.
yeah,
Like if we completely run out of power, everybody on board is gone. Like,
exactly.
lock in right now. So
Yeah.
I get his anger. I am saying this like to be funny, but also at the same time, like if I was in that situation, I'd probably be the same way. Like, dude,
When he snaps on Scotty later, I'm not with it, but like we'll get to that.
understandable, but he's frustrated at that point.
Very frustrated. He gets frustrated every episode and either snaps on someone inappropriately. He snapped on her once and she didn't have it, and he ain't done that since.
Yeah,
So
Uhura looked at him like, "My boy, you said what?" He was instantly in that moment like, "My
Mm-mm,
bad.
mm-mm.
That was on me. My bad."
You can talk crazy to anyone else you want on here. Um,
I know this is kind of like a stereotype or anything, but like Uhura was like, "Oh no, you didn't."
Pretty much. So he's upset that Bones can't convince Eve to take an exam, even though Bones can't tell her to. These civilians aren't in Starfleet.
Yeah, they're not in
These
Starfleet.
civilians are in
They're
Starfleet.
civilians. They didn't come from a situation where they were injured in any
Right.
way. So he needs their permission in order to do any type of exam on them.
Yeah. Um, and Bones raises the question of like, hey, you know what? These women are beautiful, but why are we acting like we are head over heels in love with them every time we're around them?
Bones is starting to get it at this point.
Yeah,
I
he's
did put that in my notes. Like at this situation, he's starting to like yeah, he's infatuated with green dress girl like we are,
yeah,
but also said how he's like this doesn't make sense. logically, and you would expect like something like this to come from Spock,
Yeah.
not from Bones.
Well, Bones has given, and I think we'll probably get to this a lot, like especially with the Man Trap, that he's been with Jadzia Dex. Like yeah, at
Yeah.
this point.
Well, it's not Jadzia.
Or one of the
Uh,
other
one
Daxes.
of
Yeah.
Dax's many.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Uh,
Symbiotes, maybe.
well,
Host.
well, he's a host. There we go.
Yeah.
One of Dax's hosts at this time.
Yeah. So like Bones is
Yeah.
basically like, I know what it's like to be in love. I know what it's like to just be infatuated. I know what it's like to
Well,
have
yeah.
a bit of a crush. I know it's like to just be around a pretty girl that I work with. And for whatever reason, I don't get why there's not enough context here yet to explain why
Yes.
these women are provoking
Yes.
this reaction just on
It
sight. So
doesn't make sense at this point.
he's starting to piece it together. He's trying to sort it out, but he's not quite there yet, and I don't think he gets there for the rest of the episode, quite frankly. But except maybe, okay, this is happening later, but maybe he's the one that figures out off screen that they're on drugs. Maybe they just don't,
Probably. Yeah.
because Kirk just kind of comes in and knows
They
that.
never showed like how they found that out.
Yeah. So actually, you know what? I'm headcanon. I'm gonna give credit to Bones that he basically
I think
figured
I
it
am
out.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
And just didn't get the on-screen credit for.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
With everything that we've seen so far.
Yeah. Back in Mud's quarters, Magda hands Mud a communicator and the frequency for Rigel 7 because spy network.
Mm-hmm.
And he calls, or not Rigel 7, Rigel 12. And he calls Rigel 12 and starts negotiating the deal.
Mm-hmm.
The Enterprise finally gets to Rigel 12 and they get into orbit and they're like, we can hold orbit for 3 days. After 3 days, we're going to spiral into the planet and explode. So, resolve what you need to do in the next,
And did that
point 0.9 star date.
did that make sense to you?
Well, it was like, I mean, obviously some of the technical stuff goes, but it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like what they were trying to say is that we got here on battery power, we have enough battery power to stay in orbit, and then we're gonna crash. Basically, and to me, if they weren't in orbit and they lost power, they would just go adrift.
It just dripped. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I guess
It's
what they're saying is that when you're in orbit, you have the engines of the ship to resist the gravity of the planet.
it's kind of like the International Space Station. So the
Okay.
International Space Station is like in an orbit around the Earth, but at certain points in time that they do have to like uh, they have to turn on thrusters to like correct their orbit.
Oh, okay.
Or they will continually keep spiral around and like get closer and closer to the planet, closer and closer, and then they're like in the part of the planet that like where they start to burn up and everything
Oh, gotcha.
coming to.
So
So
that's what's going to happen to
that's
them.
basically what they're saying. Like if we don't get powered by this time, we won't be able to correct ourselves enough to stay in orbit, and we're going to start to spiral down into the planet.
Yeah, okay.
It
All
was
right.
it
Makes
wouldn't be
sense.
like immediate too, because it would take some time for, of course, the
Yeah.
ship to get there too,
Well, that's depressing.
which goes back to something that like I talked about offline, which we'll get to that point.
Okay. Back in Mud's quarters, the women look different. Their words, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
They self-describe as ugly,
Mm-hmm.
which is not how I would describe it. They're still the same women. They just have like they're like it's Hollywood makeup on them to make them look. I guess haggard would be the word. I don't know. It's
One of them, Eve. Eve just looks like she just doesn't have makeup on.
yeah,
The one that we were looking at, green dress, which I forget her. I think it was Ruth.
Ruth. Yeah.
Uh, they actually put a scar on her face,
Yeah.
which was crazy to me. I was like, I really didn't have to do that in this situation, but okay.
Like a scar doesn't make you ugly. Like
I guess they were trying to like,
not wearing makeup doesn't make you ugly either. Like I'm not like quite sure
yeah.
what they were doing here.
And I pointed out to Patrick like that like it reminded me of when I saw one of my coworkers who came into work. She was not doing well. She's been sick. She's been dealing with her children. And then when she came in, like she didn't even like think about even putting on any makeup, which is understandable because who would even like take that time to do that
Yeah.
when you've been sick and been dealing with children and stuff? And she didn't look like herself. So it would have been much simpler just to be like, hey, we're just going to take off your makeup. We don't have to put on any additional aesthetics to your face to make you look like you are less attractive. Not ugly, less attractive.
Yeah, and also like we had the conversation offline, and I know, I think at least I know through my singleness, a number of
Mm-hmm.
women don't like to hear this, but like the natural look, the less makeup look, does tend to be
Mm-hmm.
more attractive
It is. It
to
is.
us. So like them losing some
Mm-hmm.
makeup probably would have worked in the opposite direction of it. So maybe that's why they did go with some of the Hollywood makeup. But like the Hollywood makeup choices that they made,
Yeah.
like they walked to the line of like, what makes a woman ugly, and tried to
I
answer that
mean,
question. And then like that's a hard question to
we both thought that the
answer.
actress that played Ruth is just stunningly gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably did take the makeup off of her. It was just like, no, you still look too beautiful. Like, we gotta do something else to make you look like you look. And I believe that's what they did with the third girl as well. So I mean, take that how you
But even just
may.
taking the makeup off of Eve didn't ever at any point in this episode
It
make
didn't.
her
She wasn't ugly to
ugly.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, she
it's
was like, okay, yeah, she didn't look like she did before.
yeah.
But the funny thing that I thought about this was like, okay, so these this illicit substance that they're taking,
The Venus pills.
uh, so like
Venus,
Venus with a V,
like the
Victor,
planet.
uh, these pills that they're taking, like, so it instantly puts makeup on them.
Yeah, because basically they all end up taking them. Like I'll skip over like there's some significance to the order in which they take them. It doesn't matter. They all end up taking them, and they just revert back to how they first appeared,
Yeah,
with the glamorous Hollywood makeup on them and things
yeah.
like that. Um, Ensign standing on business shows the miners into Kirk's office, and the miners want a deal where they get quote Mud's women. That's what they called it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the name of the episode. They want Mud's women after having a look at them. Well, mother ever.
Without the with the pills though, with the pills.
Yeah, yeah, which comes up later. And they want the charges dropped on Mud in exchange for the lithium, and Kirk's like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Mud somehow leaves his quarter and barges in with the women. Oh, because Ensign stand on business left to let these dudes in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So they're giving this dude too much
He
work.
betrayed his uniform. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think he did. Because
I
he was
did.
the dude assigned to bring the miners
He's
in.
supposed to be standing on business. All right.
No. But how can you be in two places at
He
once?
can.
Okay.
He's standing on business.
Now you're being unreasonable.
I am not. No. No. In my
You're
head canon, instant standing on business is the
can
best officer on board the
can be
ship.
in two places at once.
100%. 100%.
So
You didn't lock Mud's quarters?
that door is supposed to be locked. Uh, it was supposed to be locked anyways. Mud barges in with all three of them. Kirk rejects the deal, and then the power drops, and Spock basically announces that we're like on half conserved battery power. Um, and
So this part right here, I have to dig in the Spock
yeah,
on this one.
we're not gonna have a
I
long debate about it
We're
because it's
not,
coming up on 2 hours, but I do have a little bit of a rebuttal.
but the fact that we're in negotiations to get the crystals we need to power said ship. The power is going to fluctuate. Like we're going to see some like brownouts here and there. Like the Spock, you don't need to tell me and announce to everybody else in said room that we are negotiating to get said crystals for our ship to power it. Hey, we are now out of power.
My only issue with that, and we'll blow past it. We don't need to go have a back and forth on it because, like I said, I got
I
stuff
might,
to
I
do.
might have a back, at least one back on that, but
Yeah. Uh, Kirk is being a dummy right now, a prideful dummy right now, and that's my only get
oh,
back to that.
okay. I wasn't expecting this. Okay,
Yeah, your ship is going to be destroyed. Everyone involved has consented to being here for these purposes. The only thing that you're going to do is theoretically let a petty criminal go that you can capture later. And in Star Trek history, does capture later
Okay.
to save your ship. You should have taken that deal immediately to get the
That's a
lithium
great point.
and get out of
Okay.
here.
I have no rebuttal. You're effectively I've been lawyered. Effect I have been lawyered. Like that's a good yeah. Yeah, I have not I'm trying to think of something. I want to think of something, but like you're right. Like he's a petty criminal. It wasn't like he like off somebody
Yeah.
and he needs to stand trial for said murder. So like yeah. Yeah, you're right. Still mad at Spock though. Hey, you still could have pulled me to the side and like said that though.
Yeah, I agree with that to a certain extent, but it's like Spock didn't do anything to diminish your negotiating position because you were over a barrel and just being a basically a jackass about it, anyways. Like I would have been like, cool.
Okay. To Kirk's point, he knew that they wanted something and they wanted these women. So he still had some negotiating power as well with these women because they're on board his ship. Like he can't just like relinquish them unless like he orders it so he still had some power, some level of power within this negotiation.
Yeah,
Now
until the ship
comparative
explodes.
comparatively, like they had more, but Spock destroyed all said power when he said this in front of everybody.
This is where in post you add the Kenny Rogers song, "The Gambler," knowing when to hold him, knowing when to fold him, knowing when to walk away.
Like yeah,
And then
yeah.
Mudd turns around immediately and says, "I know we only have 3 days left." So his spy network has already delivered even more information
Dang
than what
it.
Spock said out loud. So like,
I mean, but like, still, like, and this goes back to one of the main reasons why Kirk was pissed off in like one of the future scenes on
mhm.
this one. It's because he was still bad at Spy.
He's still mad at Spock, but he's mad because his pride's been hurt, not because that I think because to your point, I wouldn't want Spock just immediately announcing sensitive information. But I'm like, this situation is not even close. Like I wouldn't be mad at him to the point where like I'd be passive aggressive. I'd be like, hey, next time we're in a situation like this, it could be a closer call. Try to keep this to
Like, yeah,
yourself.
keep this
Yeah,
like.
but I wouldn't think anything of it because I'd also be like, and it's not like I would have done anything different anyways. Let's see. Where am I in my notes?
At this point, don't we go to the planet?
Well, my notes reset, so that's the. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're really gonna pick up the pace now, because we're in like Act 3 of this story.
Okay, let's go ahead and march forward then.
Yeah. So we get on the planet because Kirk wants the lithium crystals. There's a
Mm-hmm.
landing party there.
Spark.
Spark, Spark and Mud come to the planet because Mud just runs with the senior officers now. Um, and there's one thing we gotta note: there's only 3 men on the planet mining rocks, and this is
Yeah,
like,
we did point that out. We got to talk about this. That is a. Why are there only 3 men on this dilithium planet to mine lithium?
yeah,
Like, I'm pretty sure, even with future standard technology, that you need more than 3 people to mine lithium. Heck, we've seen future episodes in TNG and the movies and stuff that showed that there were like multiple people on the Klingon planet mining the dilithium. In Voyager, they showed like the XS Mark One doctors,
tons of them.
a number of them mining dilithium on a planet. So it's like there's only 3.
Yeah, and this is the second time that we've come across a planet that only has like 2 or 3 people on
Yeah,
it because that was the man trap. It's a weird trope
I'm
that
starting
we're.
to think that they didn't have enough money to pay like additional actors.
Yep, yep.
or even that, like, oh, no, take that back. You don't even have to like pay additional actors. You can just say that
There's
there
more
are
people here.
100 people on
Yeah.
this planet,
You don't have to show
and these
any
are
of
the
them.
three main miners, the head miners. Like,
Right. Good point. Somehow the women are on the planet already. I guess they were the first to beam down, and they're like getting to know the miners. They're partying with them. Um, Kirk comes in and immediately agrees to Childress' turn because he doesn't have an effing leg to stand
he
on.
doesn't have anything to say on this
And of
point.
course, he gets brushed off,
Because Spock, screwed him. And Bruce. Yeah.
among other things. Childress immediately brushes Kirk off and is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get to know these women." Um, Spock then reminds him of the urgency, and to your point, Kirk snaps on him.
So my issue here is like, okay, I understand you trying to get with these women or whatnot, like, and you trying to like, figure out how everything is going. You couldn't give me one crystal,
Just to let me get by.
just one,
Yeah.
just enough to make sure my ship doesn't start careening into this planet and possibly hit your settlement
Yeah, exactly. While you're in it.
while you're in it
We don't
with
know.
the women that you're trying to get.
Yeah, we just entered orbit. We don't know where this orbit is going to land when we degrade into it.
Spock just told you on the ship
Yeah.
what was happening. Like, it's not like you don't have this information.
Yeah.
So, just one. Hell, you could have gave me a sliver,
I was
like
gonna say,
a half
like
of
a half
one,
of
like
one. Yeah.
just enough to power, like turn the power back on, and like the orbit won't decay in a few hours or something crap like
and then
that.
we can figure it out from here.
Yeah.
Agreed. Childress and Eve are getting to know each other, and an electric storm is blowing in, whatever that is. It looks like a snowstorm with electricity in it. They all start dancing. Childress asks Eve to dance, and she starts playing sick because Eve's interesting because in the hearing, she was all about like, we're here. This is what we're here for. This is what we want to be here for. And I think because she likes Captain Kirk, she's starting to have second thoughts about it and doesn't know if she wants to be here for Childress or not. So he decides to go dance with Ruth, and then some dude named Gomert or Gossard or something. He's minor too in your
I didn't. Patrick was like, "Oh, how do you get their names?" I'm like, "Screw it. I'm just calling them minor one, minor two, minor three." Like,
well, and so for your guys' sake, I was like, I'm gonna take at least a stab at his name, but I'm not gonna look it up. He breaks in on a dance with minor three, who I think his name is said out loud, but just in passing, way earlier in the episode. And I guess once you have two girls, three guys, a fight breaks out.
of course, always. Happened when I was in college too. Multiple
They
times.
do act like college dudes.
Multiple times.
But they have somehow ended up on the civilizationless planet mining, despite the fact that they're rich, according to Mud.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. So whatever. I guess it just is what it is. Eve runs out because during the fight, and because she feels like she's being bargained off at this point, which is
fair.
Yes, what is actually happening, despite the fact that you signed up for it
in the beginning
willingly. So,
but at this point, she's like,
and for those who don't know, in case you missed last episode, once you reverse consent, then that means consent was not given. So the fact she doesn't want to do it anymore means she can actually just leave.
Yeah.
So she's struggling to run in the storm. Kirk goes after her. Childress is also looking forward to. And Kirk returns to the Enterprise because he's like, F this, I don't have to be in an electric storm. I can conduct this search from space. Childress, I guess, is like, well, I don't have a starship, so I guess I'll just gut it out down here.
He probably had a better understanding of the layout of the colony anyway, since he's been there. So he's like, there's only so many places that she can go. So if I was someone who came onto this planet and didn't know too much about it, this is probably the direction that I would go from here.
And Mud is just allowed to be on the bridge now.
Just up here.
Figured it's pointless.
Not. I mean, we ain't got instant stand on business anymore. His
shift would have been over hours ago.
He is with his wife right now.
Yeah, exactly.
and that's assuming that his wife is also a Starfleet officer.
Yeah,
So, because we don't even know if like
it
civilians are even allowed
it's either
aboard.
he's with his wife or with his entertainment tapes, one or the other. Um,
Oh, he's standing on business. He don't have the tapes. No,
you can stand on
I
business
have faith in him.
and
Okay,
have entertainment tapes.
no, I have faith in him. Okay,
Okay.
his entertainment tapes is his wife in things that they've done, and they've recorded them. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to correct you. Kirk snaps on Scotty on the bridge and apologizes because Kirk gets frustrated every episode at some point and is tired of dealing with people.
He is
Childress finds Eve, carries her back to his quarters, and then he puts her in his bed, and then he passes out. Uh,
very respectfully, I might add.
and he points it out later. I
Very
might not.
respectfully.
Okay.
He doesn't try to like do anything while she's passed out or anything. He finds her, puts him on his bed, goes to a wooden bench, and passes out on said bench. So he is completely uncomfortable. She is completely comfortable, and he's not doing anything. I do want to point that out, especially since we had the last episode.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Childress comes off as
He's not a D-bag.
yeah, he doesn't come off as like a big bad. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna say some stuff later that's just kind of like Neanderthalish, but
Yeah.
like he's not. He's like I'm just a guy that wants to make some money and get married,
Yeah.
and I don't have all the vocabulary, exposure to the world, and all this or universe or whatever, and all this stuff that might make me more refined. I'm just a
Yeah.
guy working in a mine, and I just want a wife, and like he's laser focused on that. Let's see. So there's 43 minutes of power left on the Enterprise. So all this is going to wrap up in the next 43 minutes, or the Enterprise is going to explode. Uh,
Well,
which
not necessarily explode, but like start their orbit will start to
either
decay.
way, we know that doesn't happen until a movie. Uh, they finally find Childress in his quarters because they used the whole Enterprise for hours, for like 7 hours, and they're like, "Oh,
They've used up like the last bit of their energy trying to
yeah."
find her. Yeah,
They're getting closer to
Pro-
irreversibly
probably not the
crashing,
best use of the energy.
only to find Eve and
We don't
Childress in Childress's quarters.
we don't have a like a planet side like antenna that they can use like the laser that they used in the first episode to like find her or whatnot. We can't beam this down or whatnot.
No,
Like
no,
okay,
no.
all right.
And by the way, it's just in his quarters. It's they find them because Eve gets up and starts cooking.
Is that what they
Yeah,
locked onto? That's the heat signature
yeah,
that they locked onto.
yeah. It's like
That's
Spock says it.
that's weird.
Eve gets up and starts making a meal because she woke up and
So
ate the
not
food
her heat
first.
signature, but like the signature of
Yeah.
her cooking. Okay.
So Childress wakes up and I don't know, man. They seem to be like starting to make this thing work a bit. Like there's some like comments back and forth that are like challenging each other, but like not. And
They
then like
they
she's like,
started bickering with each other like they were either in a relationship for a while or like it's one of those infatuation bickers.
yeah,
Like I actually like you and you actually like me, but we're like I'm still gonna act like I don't like you,
yeah,
like to be cool or whatnot, but like because she gives him like that whole thing, like you know, you could clean these pans easily by
and
leaving
he
them
does
out
it.
in the sandstorm, and that would like knock off a lot of this extra grime that you left on here. And he goes out, he does it. He's like, huh,
Yeah,
that's actually a good idea.
he has in my mind he has already decided that like wow she's showing some partnership qualities in 60s
hmm
terms.
hmm
Like me and you could do a whole podcast on what I think about what's like partnership material nowadays, but uh, in 60s terms, like they're back and forth, they're repartee and like over the card game and things like that. Like They're kind of showing that like there's more to this that could just work.
Granted, he does depict that he cooks himself,
Yeah,
so it's not like this is like he actually gets upset with her because she's cooking for him.
but then also likes the food
Yeah.
that she makes, and then tries to cover up the fact he likes it by just
So
kind of
in
nagging a bit.
in 60s terms though, like this is like actually pretty progressive.
That is true.
If I'm like putting myself in the mindset of that era, like that's actually considered pretty progressive because he's like, oh, I'm a man, like, but like I cook for myself. You ain't got to cook for me. Like, why are you cooking for me? I don't understand why you doing this. Da da da. Da. And she's just like, basically pointing out like, yeah, the stuff that you cooked probably was crap. Like, I'm gonna cook something better. And then he takes the bite. He's just like, oh crap, this is probably better than anything I've ever cooked
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
So it's like he's submitting to the fact that like she can do other things better that will probably enhance his life more. So if
and there's things that he can do that
yes,
she's already established that would enhance her life more.
yes, yes,
Okay, I'm not gonna stand on this soapbox for long, but I'm gonna say this: that is totally lost in modern dating.
that is it is.
Like,
Oh,
like
100%,
the like here, it's like a
100%.
bit of a more progressive, but still a bit of misogynistic thing. But the idea of like, yeah, you guys can like reciprocally like
Yeah.
partner and do things that help each other, and that can be the basis of a relationship, and that's all you really need, is totally lost
For
under.
instance, in my marriage, I'm the main one that cooks.
Oh yeah,
Like, cause I learned how to cook when I was younger. I love cooking. I truly love cooking. Like, it's a passion of mine. So like I'm the main one that cooks between me and my wife.
yeah,
Not to say that she can't cook, she does. She she learned a lot when we got together and she wanted to learn. That's the other thing about this too. She wanted to learn for those times where I couldn't because she didn't want it to be fully all on me. So like there's the dynamic there. That's
yeah,
the progressiveness in it. This isn't like, oh, because she's the woman, she needs to cook. Like, no, F that. Like, I know how to cook.
yeah,
Why does she have to cook all the time? Like you share the responsibilities of the household.
yeah. I think that's so lost in
Hmm.
just even like the dates I go on, the conversations I have, is that me and my person are going to
Hmm.
do stuff to keep the life together going.
Yes.
And a lot of that stuff might be boring, a tad bit subservient, like, and
Hmm.
things like that. But
Hmm.
like, we're doing it together,
Yes.
and we each have things that we're gonna do, and it's gonna keep it going. That's what they're trying to show in this, like,
Yeah, that's what they're trying to depict in
yeah,
this episode. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
it's like, okay, it doesn't, and Childress is gonna like almost fumble this pretty badly with his
Almost, yeah.
talk.
But granted, like that's him being that arrogant male
Yeah,
side, like that he's trying to that they're trying to depict, and it's basically like him coming down to that conclusion of like, okay, I need to stop being arrogant here, like because I actually like this woman.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
actually actively making my life better,
yeah.
in like the because this started 43 minutes ago, the 15 minutes she's been here,
Well,
and I just need to accept it.
I really think he's like I see qualities in her that okay. This is probably something that's not talked about enough, but a lot of times when a man meets a woman that he like a lot of times immediately he knows like when I first met my wife when well not when I first met her it was in high school. Hell,
Yeah,
we didn't know what the hell love was. But when I was the correct vernacular would be when we re-met at as adults, I immediately knew.
yeah,
I immediately. And there's a lot of men that like that I've talked to that was just like, oh yeah, when I first saw her, like I already knew.
yeah. And for me, that hasn't happened yet.
And but I think for him, like that's exactly what
That's
occurred
what's going
here.
on here. And then he starts to talk himself out of it, is what I think he's trying.
He's
Like,
trying to, yeah.
we're kind of
He's trying to.
over glamorized because he attacks her looks is his way
Yes,
of trying to
yes,
get out of it.
yes.
Um,
It's his excuse. It's his excuse to escape from the situation.
yeah,
But he gets, as they continue to keep talking about it, he's just like, he pretty much admits, like, no,
yeah,
I kind of want to get to know her more.
yeah. Because Kirk and Mud barge in as he's about to start to question her looks
Uh huh.
because the Venus drug has worn off, which means she has slightly less makeup on than before and still looks great.
Yes.
Uh,
Think of this. If you haven't watched this episode, think of it like your girl just like woke up. She already took off her makeup from the previous night. She's just in sweats,
yeah,
like walking around,
she's
like
gotten
haven't
comfortable.
done up her hair or anything.
Yeah,
Like she is like 100% comfortable.
yeah.
100%.
Basically, how she should be in her house if you're
Yes.
living with her
Yes.
and not just glammed up like a model all the time, which is what the Venus drug does essentially. Um, so Kirk forces Mud to tell Childress about the Venus drug. He's put off by uh, by the fact that this made them look the way that they look. The other miners have gotten married, and I'm confused because they can get out of it because somehow, like,
Annulment. It's basically an annulment.
oh, that's what he's describing. The
Yeah.
way it comes up in the way that they wrote it, it sounds like they can get out of it because the women don't look like how they. But to your point, it's less than 90. Well, if they're going by,
Our standards.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
This
less than
age. Yeah.
90 days, so you can get out for any reason.
Yes.
Got it.
Well, I
Um,
don't think it's any reason. I think each state has like their different annulment policies. Like it's got to be on certain grounds how you're able to get out of said marriage.
okay, well, the way I know it for, I don't know how much doxing you do of yourself, for the state that we're in,
Yeah.
it's no fault. So I don't think you have to have a stated
Oh, okay.
reason.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just have
No
to.
fault. Like it's anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
So Eve takes the Venus drug, ironically, because they have a sample of it, to basically show like Childress the choice of like, hey, you can have what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
this partnership we were forming in the last 25 minutes, and how it was working with like your
Mm-hmm.
pots and pans and cook and you cook and play games or you don't play games. Or you can have what is just fake, this like glammed up
Mm-hmm.
kind of picture of possible perfection. It's amazing how this is like before social media and it's like a thing, which
True.
is
But like continue because I have a point on this whole thing. What you've gotten to the point that I
yeah.
want you to get to.
And so Childress is thinking it over, and then Kirk tells him that that wasn't the drug. We confiscated the drug. That was just like syndicated stuff, and it's like her confidence that's like,
Technically a placebo.
yeah, it's technically a placebo that's making her look like she just put a bunch of makeup and got her hair did.
So this is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
This is what I'm thinking of the whole episode. They're basically just like showing like when they took this drug, it put these women in the mindset of not really thinking about their looks, that they automatically thought that they were beautiful, that they automatically thought so they immediately had set confidence to like show that they are just like
Okay.
entitled. Because one of the main things that we've talked about offline is that, yeah, a woman can be beautiful, but then when you get to know said woman, that could either heighten
Enhance it or
or lessen the
yeah.
attraction. So, and one of the things that I find attractive, and I'm pretty sure you do too, is it's confidence.
Yeah.
So if you show a certain level of confidence, just like the way our society is, how they talk about like how big women are not like sexy or anything.
Right.
Like I love a thick woman, like
Mm-hmm.
especially a thick woman that has confidence in who she is.
Right.
I don't care. Like
Right.
as long as you have the confidence in everything, like you got me. Like seriously, like so I think that's what they were trying to like point out
I
with
think
this
you're right.
episode
I think you're right.
was like they like yeah the drug did give them that level of confidence, kind of like you drinking enough or like
Yeah.
taking a edible or something like
Yeah.
that to like make you get out of your mind to like yeah have that confidence, and you're just talking to a person like regular or whatnot, and you're
Yeah.
just showing this certain level of confidence. So that's what I think that they were depicting with this, and that was why they showed the regression and then them like looking back beautiful, because that doesn't make sense. That like, so the drug like puts makeup on them and just like makes them automatically look beautiful. That truly doesn't make sense. So I
Okay,
think
I
that that's
think
how they were thinking of themselves when we saw them in the quarters looking ugly.
yeah,
That's how they thought of themselves looking, like how women normally do, because they always keep
yeah,
putting
it's kind of
themselves
a
down.
dysmorphia kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
I think the only reason why it gets confused is because they show the physical change.
Yes.
And there, if they actually didn't show the physical change and just showed people reacting to them differently and them acting differently,
Yes.
then it might have hit. But you know what? In
But it was
'60s,
this scene that
yeah,
made me think that, because it's just like, hold on, wait, she automatically had makeup on, but this wasn't the drug
yeah,
that they took. So in her head, that's what she looked like,
yeah,
and that's only because at that point the drug was wearing off. She was not looking at herself as beautiful, so like her level of confidence went down. So him saying like, I mean, you're not like you were before, was saying like your level of confidence has gone down. You're not interacting to me like
it's
you
almost
were
like when
when I.
he's like, and now you look like that now. It's like a figurative, like you look like
Yes.
that now. That is fascinating.
Yes.
That's a fascinating take on the episode.
That's the way I'm taking this now.
I don't think it's a bad way because I think that's what they meant to do. If we had to like probably look it up, I think that's what like it doesn't come off
Mm-hmm.
that way because they show the physical change like I mentioned, but I do think that's what they meant to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
guys and gals that listen to this, if you don't think that's what they meant to do, and there's a broader
Oh,
message here
please.
about like
Yeah.
you know
Let us know in the comments.
beauty standards and things like that, yeah, put it in the comments. But I think it's fair to say what they're trying to say is that you never needed this drug and you looked the same way the whole
Mm-hmm.
time. You just needed to kind of believe in yourself, and that's a good message for men, women, and yeah,
Because
anybody else.
notice after they told her about that, she didn't revert back
Yeah,
to that look. It was a. It was almost like it clicked in her mind, like, oh, this is the way that I thought of myself this
yeah.
whole time, and really, I'm way more beautiful than what I currently am, because actually, this guy is into me still.
Yeah, because Childress is basically like, you can have the lithium. It's here. We don't know where here is exactly because we supposedly couldn't find it. We have the lithium. It's here, I guess, in his quarters. Um,
But can she stay here?
yeah, and Childress and Eve are like, we're gonna make this work. We've been through a harrowing experience and we partnered afterwards. And I see what you guys are saying now that this is her, and
Uh
I
huh.
want her to stick around and see if we can make it work. So they're gonna make it work.
Because he actually got to see her for who she was, and that was, that's probably the biggest depiction. Like when she was the most, not necessarily aggressive is the word I'm looking for. Like when she was snippy, that's when she was just like, oh yeah, the drug has wore off. I don't look like I normally did. You know what? F it. I'm just gonna give you me. Like at this point, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna give you me. But she still looked at herself as like being ugly in that situation. I look at that as that wall coming down, because we've been in relationships enough to like, in the beginning you get the representative, and then after a while like you can't maintain that representative, and then you finally get the true person. I think in that situation was her showing her true self, and I think that's where he actually started to like her more than the level of infatuation at the beginning when he first saw her.
Yeah, and it only was when she started hating herself that he got kind of upset. Yeah, Childress is an interesting
Childress
character.
is actually not a bad guy. Like
Yeah,
seriously, like
he might be a touch of a simpleton, but like
I mean,
yeah,
but like everybody, like I'm not perfect, but like
yeah.
there's plenty of times that I've
And I
acted
am
like an
definitely not
ass,
perfect. Yeah,
like but like for the most part, I do understand. Like, and like, I get to that point where I'm just like, what the? I
Yeah,
mean, just be you. Just do you. Like, you don't have to like do this representative. You don't have to like put on all this makeup. You don't have to like be the like. I think you're beautiful just the way that you are.
yeah. That you have a great interpretation at the end. I was looking for something a little bit more controversial and aggressive there when he starts asking about her looks, but like,
And it's hard not to think that way,
yeah.
especially the previous episodes that we've seen.
I mean, outside of the fact that we love hanging out together, and especially you and your wife, like all
Uh
of us
huh.
hanging out. Like one of the reasons why I wanted to come back and record this week was like I just don't want to leave. I was like I don't want to leave Nashville on this note. Or
Yeah.
whoops,
Yeah.
bleep it out. I don't know if you're trying to. I don't know. Have we set a location?
We said Tennessee, but
Okay. I didn't want to leave on that note, and
mhm.
so like to end on something hopeful that I didn't see before in the episode, chef's kiss. That was
Yeah.
perfect. What I needed. Okay, so there's some banter on the bridge. There's some banter between Kirk and Mud, and then they just f off and leave.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really anything else that happens in the
Yeah.
episode.
There's not much left within this. The only thing that I have left is McCoy points out that Vulcan's anatomy is totally different from that of humans, and he points like to the point
Yeah,
uh, uh, where Spock's heart would be comparative to humans, which I thought was interesting. And then at the very end, I have Johnny is upset because he's at the hell. He's at the hell like.
yeah. I don't know, man. You're the navigator. Set course to Wrigley's Pleasure Planet. Let's
Johnny is
let's
the
get you back right.
like
I don't
I
know.
couldn't get one of them like.
That is an interesting question because they're looking for husbands. I'm like, there's probably three dudes on the ship that would
Would have loved.
gladly marry these
Yes.
women, taking a reassignment to
Yes.
somewhere that wasn't on a ship to do this. But that's not where the episode went, and it didn't need to go there. I think it ended up fine where it was.
All right. So we're at the ending here. Are you ready for? Do you have anything additional before we give our ratings on this episode?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm good.
All right. So episode 7, Mud's Women. What, Patrick, do you give this episode?
Well, especially after what you said, I think I started off here and felt like I was going to drop down depending on how
Mm-hmm.
the episode is interpreted. The interpretation of the end of the episode that you gave is so logical and on point that I'm like I have to let go of some negativity for probably the first time ever
Mm-hmm.
that we're doing that we've been
I
doing
have to
this.
agree.
So I'm going. It wasn't the best episode, so I'm going no synthahol required on this. A 4 in our system, but yeah, I'm not sure what. I mean,
Well,
I could.
Synthahol required would be a 4.
Oh yeah, synthahol required. Yeah,
Okay.
I would go. I would go synthahol required. I think it's so whimsy that maybe it just doesn't get to be great, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's mid either.
Okay. So uh, I have to I have to point out that after the episode, I put this as a synthahol required.
Okay.
After talking about this, and like I had that point in my head and on my notes to talk about that, and while we were talking it out, and then you even understanding that, it came to my mind like I truly thoroughly like I enjoyed this episode. I really did.
See, and now you're messing with me because I'm like on the very high end of need synthahol. Like I almost don't need synthahol for this.
Yes, it's kind of like
Like
I would
it's
agree with you. It's kind of like a borderline, like a 4.5.
yeah,
I
exactly.
would agree with you, but because it's like there, I have to give this a no synthahol required because
Yeah.
I truly enjoyed the episode. This is the first episode that we've seen where I don't have like a something terrible to say. Uh,
That isn't related to a star date.
yeah, well, yeah, the Stardate thing, like I can let that slide because this is like the beginning, and they're trying to like
You know what?
establish said lore and all that stuff. Like, yeah, it's definitely something that like bothers me, but I don't put that as a knock to the episode. I put that as a knock to the writers for not establishing this sooner.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm going to join you. Also, did I give no synthol required to the naked time?
I cannot remember off the top of my head, which I'm trying to remember what I gave that episode. Uh,
Because I think I'm going to join you with no synthol required. I really don't, especially with you contextualizing the ending the way it was, and me agreeing with
mhm.
it. I really don't have a problem with this episode at all. Like,
It truly was like when you finally like break everything down and like get to a certain point with the episode where you're understanding like what they're trying to convey.
yeah,
Because I truly think this is where TOS is hitting its stride at,
mm-hmm,
because they're learning how to like fully convey the messages that they are writing with these episodes. And I'm thinking like as we go forward, not to say there's not going to be terrible episodes
and
going
there will
forward.
be.
There will be. We know those. But I truly think that the writers are getting to a point where they're like understanding, oh, this is the type of framing that we're needing to depict with these episodes.
Yeah, I'm just for the sake of speed and all that stuff. I'm going to join you and give you a no synthol required. I don't think you need synthol for this episode.
I did give the naked time a no synthol required as well.
I think I did. I think I
Mm-hmm.
did too. It's just one of those episodes where you know
It's quintessential Star Trek.
it's quintessential Star Trek. They're trying to figure out a mystery, and with TOS, you can try to reach for some negative stuff. You can talk about like you can get into the deeper societal themes of like
Yeah,
why they feel like they have to get married and
yeah, yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah.
But I will be honest with you, that starts to get outside of the frame of the painting that they're showing us.
Yes, exactly.
And what they're trying to show us is, hey, look, your partnerships can be stronger than your partner's looks, your partner's jobs, and they do it for the men and the women in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of like, I agree with that. So yeah, I'm gonna join you with it.
The
And
more and more I thought about this, like they even made a fact to point out like these women are not being trafficked in any way.
yeah,
Like they
everything in here is consensual.
like
And when stuff starts,
they want to do this.
yeah, and when stuff starts not being consensual, then it's like, oh, okay, maybe we'll get her out of this situation. Like it,
And even with the drug too, like they even made it like this was the drug was the main reason why they were seen as attractive. But then like by the end, you show like no, it wasn't the drug that makes you attractive. It was you that made yourself
you were
attractive.
attractive the whole time. It's
Like
just what you were doing.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
I do wonder if the drug did give them the hypnotic powers at least.
uh, I don't think it's like okay. You talk about like with all the men being infatuated with
Yeah,
them. I looked at that as that like there there have been some women that like exude this like level of confidence that's just like every time you see them, it's just like man, like she is the ish. Like
well, but I am. It is, but it is still consistent with how you contextualize the episode for the drug to give them hypnotic powers and for not to have the hypnotic powers at
yeah,
the end because of it. So like,
because
it can actually work both ways.
it's still them.
Yeah,
It's just still that like they really have a level of attractiveness that they don't have to do anything extra.
yeah,
They just thought they did, but they really didn't.
yeah.
That's the
So
way I'm taking this as.
it could work either way, and I think the drug giving them powers that they didn't need is good. So all right, well, I'm certainly. I mean, you're the host of the show. I'm not wrapping up, but I can certainly say I'm glad I came back and did
I am too.
that the last episode that I'm recording with you live for a while wasn't the grape episode.
This episode it was definitely a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It was definitely a breath of fresh air, and I'm hoping that the next episode is also like that as well. I didn't look to see which episode
Yeah, I
that
don't know
was,
which one I
but
got.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that it's better going
Well,
forward.
and that's the thing about Mud, which is amazing that he only makes two appearances here. Like that's what he's an antagonist that's a scoundrel,
Hmm.
and he's funny and he's ridiculous, and he's played by an actor that plays him really well.
Yeah,
And every time he shows up, it is kind of a breath of fresh air. Like the stakes aren't ridiculously high, even in the Discovery
and
episode.
even Discovery. Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah,
say that.
like
Yeah,
the stakes aren't ridiculously high. It's just like, oh, it's funny that this dude is here, and like we meet Stella in that episode, and it's yeah. I'm looking forward to the next Mud episode.
I am too. I am too. I mean, but we're going to end it right here. Thank y'all for joining us. Once again, a great episode. Wonderful rewatch of TOS. I know that we said in the year we were going to start back Strange Track. We're going to do that at the end. Like, that's going to be the last Sunday of every month
Because we cannot remember it for the beginning Sunday.
for some reason.
Also, I think next month if we tried to do it the first Sunday, it might be Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
So we
I
definitely
I
yeah
thought about that too. Either
yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday or it's going to be like close to like where the national championship is played. So
Oh yeah
I
yeah
was like, you know what? Yeah, the last Sunday of each month is when we're going to do a Straight Shack.
I think
Up
that
until
works.
that point, we're either going to do a rewatch or when Starfleet Academy um, airs, we're either going to review that as well.
Right.
So, thank y'all for joining us once again. Hey, it's all good. we 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 thought we were going to have a hard time talking about this episode because of like all the craziness that like all the sexiness that they point out in this episode. Uh,
I think
but
we fared pretty well,
I think we
surprisingly.
did a good job of
Yeah.
breaking this down. So, as always, we're going to end on that wonderful quote by Jean-Luc Picard.
It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life.
Thank you for joining us. Y'all have a wonderful and awesome week. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.